Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. Welcome to Finish the Story. I am your host, Keegan Ray. I'm joined here by my co-host, producer, best friend, Mr. Trent Ludzak.
Yeah.
It's a motherfucking Us episode.
Hit me with an eagle.
Oh, when you said that, I didn't know what you meant at first. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You're like, hit me with an eagle. I was like, what are you talking about?
Did you have a stroke?
Yeah. You're like, hitting me with like fucking speakeasy lingo. Hit me with a noon eagle. No, so we were talking about this before we started, so we just decided to start like right away. But so I went to Bonnaroo, right? So one time it was like a late night show.
Which year was this?
This was probably 2007 or 8 because it was like my second or third year. So I go with these guys and we went to Radiohead, and then after we're going to the late night show, and dude, like you saw the moment that like my buddy just nope. He just was
during
tripping.
Radiohead?
Yeah, just too hard.
Oh,
he just
yeah.
all of a sudden was like, mm-mm.
I feel like Radiohead isn't the best.
Yeah. So we lose him, and then we go to the other show. I lose my other buddy. So like I'm at this late night show, and I
You're
start
just
like
lost.
I'm not in a good place. Like I start realizing like I'm by myself.
You should have noticed that your friends freaking out and leaving was probably a good sign that maybe I should be ready.
Yeah.
For this
I should
to
have
get
left,
a little
but I
intense.
didn't. Right? So I'm sitting in this crowd, and I'm like panicking. And then all of a sudden, I look over, and there's this dude next to me. And for some reason, he just caught my attention. And I completely forgot about what was going on with me, and I just started watching this guy. He was dressed like Disco Stu from The Simpsons. You know what that is?
I'm going to look it up just to confirm that I know what it looks like.
He's like in a baby blue suit. He had the afro. Disco Stu from Simpsons.
I don't know. No, that's Stu. That's the wrong word.
Oh, what? I don't know what his name is from The Simpsons. Just put in Simpsons afterwards. Simpsons disco guy.
Stu with STU.
Yeah. So he's dressed as, put that up on the screen.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get the image. Yeah, this guy. So he's dressed as that.
Yeah. So I'm looking over, and this dude's dressed as that, and he's looking around, and the whole time he's looking around, he's got his wig, and he's like pulling the wig back, and he would take sweat, and he would like throw it on the ground, and he would go, "Ooh, it's spicy." He kept saying it's spicy in here, and he's like dancing to the music. I'm like, dude, this guy. So he walks over to me, and he's like, "Whew, I got the trifecta working." I'm like, what is the trifecta? And he pulled his like glasses down, and dude, he just had dinner plates, and he goes, Molly acid mushrooms. He goes, and I'm settling in. Like the whole time he's like dancing. But I remember he had this fold out stool that like he had like a little backpack, and then he just took it off and like folded it out and was sitting on the stool.
So Disco Stu is sitting on a stool.
Yeah. So he's sitting on a stool in this middle of this thing. So I'm talking to him, and he starts like, we start blowing up these balloons, and we're like passing them out in the crowd. But dude, the whole time, like nobody else is really looking at him. So I start thinking I'm having like a mental break.
Like, is this my imaginary friend?
Yeah, I'm like, this guy's not even real. Like the only thing that I kept being like he is real is because I kept seeing the balloons. But at one point, he just looks at me and like he was blowing up these balloons and just passing them, and people were hitting them in the crowd. And then he just turns around and he goes, "Look, we did that." And you turned around, and as far as you could see, there was balloons. And then he just left. And I'm like, where the fuck did Disco Stu go? And so I'm like in a bad place. And then they played Lionel Richie over the fucking all night long.
Yeah, because your imaginary friend just left you.
Dude, it was like, I really like was struggling. Like, did that really just happen? You don't want to ask the person next to you, like, hey, is that guy there? They're like, who? Like, I didn't want confirmation.
Did you see a guy with a stool here a minute ago?
They're like, what do you mean a stool? In the crowd? I don't think so.
I saw a guy carrying his own shit a couple nights ago. But
he had a press badge that I am 100% sure was not real.
Yeah, he was trying.
Like, he had his own press badge. He's like
there was no press at that festival.
No,
he just
dude,
printed a press
no
badge.
Press at Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
There's like reporters, but nobody's walking around with like a 1950s. Sorry, I'm here to take pictures.
Bro, I think you imagine that guy.
It was crazy.
I still, to this day, I think that you like had like a Fight Club thing where you blew all these balloons up because you needed to prove to yourself that you could do something and affect the world in some way. So once you did that, your little Tyler Durden just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, it was insane,
Yeah.
dude.
At least it was balloons instead of
And I'll never forget, he
beating
just
the
kept
shit out of
saying,
yourself.
Is so spicy. I was like, that's such a weird way to say it's hot. But it was muggy as shit, and he had that fake afro on. I was like, dude, he's
Yeah.
probably dying.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't show his real identity.
You know
Feds
what,
were
though?
after that guy.
yeah, that guy was running from something. The trifecta. I was young, too. That flipped me out. I was like, oh, my God, I'd be panicking,
Why would
dude.
you do that?
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. That sounds like you would just be like that fucking dust ball from the cartoons. Just that's insane. That's too much going on. That's like people try to give it a cute name. They're like, I ninja flipped. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Dude, no. I'm good. I'll do those things separately.
Sounds racist.
Yeah. I've never been. Our candy flip is what people call it.
Which one is that?
That's like, I think, Molly and LSD.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
That just sounds like it's too much. Like, I'm not even going to.
That sounds horrible.
That sounds like I'm checking out. Like,
That
I'm
sounds like-
completely. It sounds like you need to go to therapy.
That sounds like the worst 12 hours of my year.
That's going to age you like dog years.
You're going to age like a president.
You're just aging years every 20 minutes. That's the worst.
If I ever need some gray hairs, I'll...
That's the worst, dude. When you're like, this is affecting me poorly.
Oh, God.
I've done that. I've looked at my watch and it's been 45 minutes. I was like, that took 5 years. I am now 42 since this show started. I didn't think I was going to make it through a Black Crowes show one time. Like the whole time before the show, I was like, if the music doesn't start soon, I'm going to have a psychotic break. Like, I need something else to focus on.
It's
Your
It's
boy
weird
is
'cause-
struggling.
like when I was a kid, I would go to a lot of metal shows. And metal shows, a lot of times, they'll have, the music beforehand. It sounds like what you're explaining is for like fun, silly music to trip on.
Yeah.
They're playing wild shit up front.
No.
At metal shows, a lot of times it was like SpongeBob or Disney songs.
What?
Yeah, I'm not even fucking with. Like, there would be like the whole crowd singing along to Disney shit, and then the pit opens up 30 minutes
And
later.
then you just beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
That would be even better.
It's
though,
weird
if
how
you were
they're
moshing
flipped.
during, like, if you're moshing during like
Bro, the circle of life.
Tarzan.
Doing a circle pit during the circle
You're
of
like,
life.
fucking Phil Collins rules. Dude, I saw a guy murder karaoke with Circle of Life.
Oh, yeah.
But he was a white dude singing. I was like, this is borderline, dude.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, you're borderline. Hey, Phil Collins did it. And fucking, what's his name? Paul Simon. I had a boss that hated Paul Simon. Like, when it
Really?
came on the radio, he would get like,
Like he personally wronged him?
yes. Like, I was like, what the fuck is the story? He's like, I won't talk about it. Just like, he would immediately like go and change the channel and make a big deal out of it.
Bro, was he molested by
I
Paul
don't
Simon?
know. I was like, God, whatever happened, dude?
Bro, he was molested.
During Paul Simon, like, it was playing on the radio. It's like diamonds on the soles of her feet while you're just getting molested.
Yeah. Just
That probably happens to a lot of people. They probably have a horrific soundtrack that they just. It's like, have you ever seen
Paul Simon walks up and whispers in his ear, "The man eater is me."
That's Hall & Oates.
Oh, that is. Yeah. Fuck.
Same,
All those
same.
guys, I get so confused. I just kind of throw out a name and hope for the best
Yeah, I mean,
because they're all
you
kind
know,
of the
It
same.
was all the same era. Hall & Oates had some questionable fucking album covers.
All of them did. They all had questionable everything.
Yeah, you see those album covers, right? That's what was getting chicks back then. This is the gayest shit I've ever seen. It's crazy. Yeah, nobody had, and then you had people like Parliament Funkadelic. They always had cool album covers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always killed it.
I mean, did you see? I've been getting a lot of promotions for Parliament Funkadelic coming to Atlanta for like their final tour coming up here, and every picture is George Clinton in a different insane outfit.
Yeah.
Every promotion, like there's one where it's like a white silk buffalo head. You're like,
Dude,
what the fuck
we
is
should
this guy
start dressing
doing?
like that.
It would be cool, man. If you could get me one of those
Yeah,
for less than $8,000,
definitely, dude.
because I
Have you
bet
ever
that
seen,
thing is not cheap.
Have you ever seen The Night Tripper? Put that into Googs. The Night Tripper is Dr. John. So it's this New Orleans piano player. And he has an alternate ego. And it's when he just comes out at night when he's like, I guess on acid. But he comes out with like a headdress. And they have like these women that come out and they're like,
This thing?
dude, yeah. They did it late night one night at Bonnaroo. And I was like, this is crazy. It was like some voodoo shit. It's like you're at a seance. They come out, they're like,
Oh, yeah,
burning
that would be
incense. They start
uncomfortable.
chanting. Oh, yeah.
Don't like it.
I had no idea what I was in for. That was 2006. That was 18-year-old Keegan. I was like, oh, we're summoning something dark in here, dude. I don't fuck with voodoo.
You're like, I didn't
at
know that you
all.
could do black magic in a tent.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what are we doing? Are y'all sure you're calling the right things? Because I'm open. Don't do that shit. I'm susceptible.
Yeah, I'm trying to not get
Yeah.
possessed by a demon.
I do not fuck with voodoo. Like
No.
when you go to New Orleans, there's a creepy vibe. Like,
Yeah,
I don't like that.
it.
Everybody's going into the voodoo shops. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Well, I think it's because of the French.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think it's all the French's fault.
And it's just, dude, there's too much nothing out there. When you have a state that has that much nothing,
I mean, they have crocodiles. That's not nothing.
bro.
They have dinosaurs.
When you have a marsh like that, you know how many people probably get killed and just thrown into that like swamp and just
Oh,
the
yeah.
alligators eat them?
Oh, yeah. Do you know how many
Like, it's probably-
crackheads die fighting alligators?
That's a rough way to go. A fucking lizard biting you.
Oh, yeah.
They're creepy. They're dead-eyed. They're
Yeah.
little dead-eyed demons.
Well, you saw the video of the one alligator eat the other alligator's arm?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bro, and it just doesn't... You're like, what the fuck are these things?
Yeah, they're dinosaurs.
I
They're
don't like 'em.
legitimately dinosaurs. They've been around that long.
I think we should wipe them out, dude. Humanity unite against the true enemy, the dinosaur.
Dude, people are so nonchalant about them. When we went golfing on Defusky, the guy was like, yeah, we got
Wait, what's this place called?
Defusky. It's off of the coast of South Carolina. It's an island. You got to take a
Defusky.
boat there. Yeah, it's got a rough history.
I can imagine.
Like,
Yeah.
They're like, this is Bloody Point. Is
I
one of
can't
the
imagine.
places you're like, yikes, dude.
I can't imagine Mr. Defusky was a nice guy to everybody that worked under him.
Yeah.
And I'm using the word work pretty loosely, I think.
I think, yeah, some rough history. Bloody Point. I remember
Yeah.
that. I was like, yikes, dude. But no, we were getting, it was kind of like drizzling rain, and the guy was like, yeah, you know, we got a healthy gator population. We got a 12-footer on hole 10. So I was like, hey, what? That's a fucking monster, dude.
A
12?
healthy gator population?
Yeah.
That's 0, my friend. That's what a healthy gator population is.
I fucking got nowhere near the water. We wrecked. I rear-ended my buddy on the bridge, and my first thought was, we're going to get eaten. Yeah, we rear-ended each other like dumbasses in front of the only other people on the course.
I did hear this, yeah.
Just like a fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, my first thought was alligators. Like, that was my first thought. Like, if I fall in this water, that would be it. And you're on an island that's 45 minutes away from...
Oh, yeah, so you got to get like a helicopter.
Or
to,
a boat. You're just going to be
Bro,
in the back of a boat with like a chomp leg.
with alligators following the boat.
Yeah, we
Bro,
know a guy that went
not
to
in.
get off the boat for a bachelor party, his bachelor party, and he got bit by a water moccasin immediately.
Oh, that's a good start.
Yeah,
I heard anti-venom's a fun trip.
Yeah, they had to drive him 40 minutes back in. Just get back in the boat, dude. That's a shit way.
Yeah.
Get off the boat and get bit immediately.
I mean, at least you just got off the... So it's like
At
you're
least it
right
wasn't
at
night.
the boat.
Yeah.
At least your friends didn't have to drag you 5 miles.
God, that would suck. That would
Yeah.
fucking suck.
You really are going to reeveoyevaluate your friendships.
The
It's a
panic-
good thing it was his bachelor party.
Yeah.
And not just like some guys he kind of knows.
Yeah.
Because those guys might be
Yeah,
like,
the water taxi, they're like, not my problem.
you better make friends with them gators.
Oh my god, yeah, alligators. Fuck that. Fuck
Yeah.
alligators. So yeah, dude. Since the last time that we had a podcast, I don't think we knew the sex when we did shams. I'm having
No.
girls. I'm
Yeah.
having twin girls, dude.
Twin girls.
Which is scary because it's gonna be like The Shining. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like those little girls.
How many times are you going to wake up to pee in the middle of the night and then almost have a heart attack? It's going to be a big problem.
dude. Girls is rough because they're gonna be like talking to each other You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
telepathically.
I thought you started setting up the swimming pools already.
Yeah. The Minority Report. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot we did talk about
Yeah,
that
you're gonna-
DraftKings. Yeah, Christina's not going to love that when that episode comes out. I forgot about that. that episode got crazy. So, yeah, since we talked, I'm having girls. But more importantly, we saw Dune 2.
We did see
On
Dune 2.
IMAX.
We did. We didn't go to a good neighborhood.
Yeah. On the IMAX. It was great, dude.
It was
what was your takeaway from it?
I was so fucking blown away by how well they handled it.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a lot happens. It's
Mhm.
like the first movie was really slow because it was setting up and kind of letting you know who everybody is and what they're doing. And then, some action at the end.
Yeah.
But this movie, it was like, it was so dense. We're like,
There's a lot going on.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything is something vital.
See, you said something that stuck out to me. You were like, I was like almost shaking. You said you're having involuntary reactions.
I was like,
because I was
shit.
doing the same thing. Like at one point, I realized my entire body was tensed up. Like I was just like,
Yeah. You just like let out a breath. You're like, how long was I
Yeah.
holding that one for?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
The action, the sound was cool too. Like my favorite part was when he rides the fucking worm. No spoilers, but when he does
No,
that
we're
for
gonna
the-
spoil it.
Yeah,
Fuck
when
these
he does
people.
that for the first
Watch
time,
the movie.
bro.
Watch
And
it more
you
than
know
once.
What was awesome is in IMAX when they had the thumper. That shit
Yeah.
was like
Oh,
hitting in
yeah.
your chest. It was like, doof, doof.
By the way, do you know that that's the correct term for that thing?
The thumper.
The thumper.
Really? I didn't
That's
know.
what they call it in the book. Yeah.
But that scene when you see it coming down the hill and it like sounds far away, and then by the time it gets up close, you can't hear shit.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Oh yeah. Because that's
IMAX is so loud.
it's really
It's
cool.
fucking loud, dude.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And
I
it was
a fan.
it was weird that it was raining outside, and like when it was quiet, you could hear the rain. So you're like, we're in the desert,
Yeah.
guys.
That was perfect though. Just a
Yeah.
little rainy day.
Watch it on a rainy day.
matinee. I haven't done a matinee in a long time.
Dude, it's nice.
Took in the Chick-fil-A. The
Yeah,
chicky
we did.
nugs,
Yeah.
dude. Some nuggets. I was popping nuggets. That should be the fucking movie
Yeah.
snack.
I
is
got me a
nuggets.
sandwich.
Yeah. I love bringing ridiculous foods into the movie. I just love it, dude. Like a bottle of wine. I've done Chinese food. I've done Mexican food,
Dude,
which
a
is
bottle of wine. Are you just drinking it out of plastic cups then?
I had a stack of cups, and this dude looked over and goes, "No fucking way."
We should air an Odom movie. We should do another screening of Dune, but bring bourbon in 2 glasses.
I'm down.
Like glasses.
Yeah, I'm
Real
down.
highballs. Yeah.
Yeah. I one time in a Pirates of the Caribbean was drinking bottles, which hindsight was not a good move. And I got up to go to the bathroom and kicked him over, and it's just like they like
Yeah.
rolled. Everybody fucking looked around like,
Bro.
like, dude, you're drinking 12 beers? Like, what the fuck? It's Pirates of the Caribbean. It's 6 o'clock. Like, what the fuck are you
At
doing?
least I'm not drinking rum like
Yeah.
that. At least I didn't go with the theme.
Yeah. That was another movie that got really out of control was trying to think of Ted got pretty out of control. I saw Ted in theaters. People were boozing heavy.
I used to
Lots of
work in a
alcohol.
theater.
Yeah.
So like, I think the craziest movie that I saw when it came out was do you remember when Justin Bieber came out with a movie?
Yeah. That got wild. The old Biebs.
We had to call an ambulance because a girl was having a panic attack.
What?
Yeah.
Over Bieb?
Yeah.
Bro, that's
Also-
star power.
Also, the messiest theaters that I
Oh,
ever
yeah,
saw.
little
the
dirtball
worst.
girls.
Ugh. Just like you're like, why is like there's no spot on this floor that is not covered in popcorn?
Because
Like-
they were throwing it.
Yeah,
Obviously.
they were. They had
That's
to
crazy.
be.
That's crazy. Yeah.
No,
I
it
can't believe
was-
the Bieber movie.
It was the
pandemonium.
biggest problem the whole time I worked there. The second worst, I think, was Avatar when the original Avatar came out.
But that ruled. That ruled.
Yeah, that was a better movie.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think about Avatar, love it or hate it. It was better than the Justin Bieber movie.
Love it or hate it. It's like, what was there to hate? Like, people that hate it didn't see it in theaters. It was cool as fuck. It
You're
was
right.
the first 3D movie that was worth 3D. Like, they
Yeah,
made it
probably.
actually an experience.
I mean, as a movie, it's fine. It
And
is
by
all. It's
experience, I
all
mean I
about
ate
the
mushrooms.
effects. Yeah, of course. It's all about the effects. Those movies.
I had some friends that ate acid and went, and might have made a little bit of a scene.
I wonder why.
Why? They're like, dude, shut the fuck up. Wow! They're sitting down front, like got their feet in the air. I remember being a kid and going and seeing in the IMAX a 3D movie. I think it was a dinosaur one. I remember doing that.
Yeah. Well, 3D technology's been around in different levels for like a long time.
You should be able to go, like 3D should be taken off. Like the movie theater should just be like a whole thing. Like a ride.
My thing with 3D
I should get strapped in. Just.
I have always found that 3D, I forget about it in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And now I'm just watching a regular movie. You know?
I just, the only one
I've
that
never
was cool
liked
was
it.
Avatar. And then I saw Coraline 3D, which was fucking rad. Coraline 3D was cool.
I feel like that could work because
Yeah.
it would work better with animation.
It works really cool with that like stop motion animation. It was fucking awesome. And that's another one that like they never played again in the movies. I also heard that one that you should see in the movie theater was Interstellar. I heard Interstellar was crazy.
I bet that would be awesome in the theater.
The soundtrack and like the clicking and every time you hear that click, it's like a year when he's on the planet. That movie's trippy, dude.
Yeah, that movie's pretty wild.
Yeah. I love that meme that shows you like the guy screaming and it's like me 3 hours later trying to tell myself not to eat that other edible. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
I've been, dude.
So how about this? So did you like Dune more than Interstellar?
Oh, yeah, by a long
Yeah.
shot. Dune is just cool. I like the story of Dune. The spice,
Yeah.
the psychedelic, the kind of like the spiritual vibe. I thought the second movie was way more like into the spiritual realm of
It did.
Dune.
It even got, because like Dune is, they say about the books that you can read them multiple times through like a different lens. So you can read it through like looking into kind of the religious aspects of it. And there's a lot to get into there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can do that for like politics, economics, like all the anything basically.
That's
it's a
awesome.
very like deep, wide book. The movie really hit the religious part harder than I think I've read any of the books through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was interesting. They really drove
I was like,
home.
dude, that the Reverend Mother, she's gonna dominate Halloween with the writing on her face.
Oh, I didn't even think of
Yeah,
that.
that's the
Yeah,
first
this
thing I
next
thought about.
Halloween. Yeah,
and it's
you're
like,
right.
all right, so here's a spoiler. Skip ahead. But dude, all I could think about is when Christopher Walken was the Emperor. All I could think
That's
about
who I'm gonna be for
was the
Halloween.
dance scene from Fat Boy Slim, dude. Like I just wanted him to so bad be like, kiss the ring and dance that Fat Boy Slim dance. Dude, you know what dance I'm talking about?
No.
Fat Boy Slim had a video where Christopher Walken does this dance, and the whole video is him doing like dancing. It's fucking hilarious. But that's all I could think about the entire time. I was like, my brain is broken. I was like, that is so dumb. Yeah, you've never seen this video. It's like,
Fuck you. Is this it?
yeah, the whole video is him dancing through this like hotel.
Oh, that's funny.
And he's getting down, dude. He's busting out. I busted, like, if I get too drunk at a wedding, I do bust out a couple of Christopher Walkens, dude. Like, one time, oh my God, I was talking about this the other night. So, my buddy had a wedding in Savannah, right? And they had a Talking Heads cover band, and it was open bar. Outrageous.
Good.
Like, my dad was there and was like, dude, I've been to some wild weddings. He goes, this is pushing. This is crazy. He's like, I just walked in the bathroom. There was 19 people in one stall.
Yeah, you're like, this is a white trash wedding.
Oh,
Like, you
dude, it was
really-
just Savannah get down. And I remember that he had a camera that was like pointed filming the dance floor. Dude.
There's some shots
These
on there that you
videos
don't
that
want to
they
get
were
out.
taking, I'm like, burn that footage, dude. He sent me one clip of a couple of pictures, and I was like, oh, no. It's horrific. If you've never seen yourself dance after an open bar, it is not pretty.
I'm gonna next time I
Like,
see
why
him.
am I so sweaty?
Next time I see him, I'm gonna see if he can like subtly like be like, hey, send me a few of those. I'll make him gifts.
Oh, dude, maybe I'll ask him. I'll be like, do you have, because that was in prime me getting fucked up days. So
Oh,
I
so
was
you
just
were-
in there.
you were-
This is how drunk I was at the wedding. I went to the bar and I was like, let me get a bourbon and Coke. And the guy goes, just hands me a Bud Light. I was like, nah, I said bourbon and Coke. He goes, I heard you.
Yep.
I'm like, that's a trained professional. He's
Yup.
like, I know I can't cut this guy off because he's a problem because
Yeah.
but I can at least slow him down.
Yep. That's
Like,
you got to put the brakes on that train, cool off a little bit.
yeah. Which he was absolutely right. Sometimes
Yeah.
you got to switch it over. You can't just straight liquor through an open bar. You're not going to
Yeah.
make it. You're not
Did-
like people,
Yeah.
when I work events, you see people, because not everybody drinks like that all the time. So you just see somebody's aunt just hit like 6 vodka sodas. You're like, boom.
Yeah.
She's going down.
I've told you my mom is
Oh, she's an open
at weddings.
bar.
At weddings.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Oh yeah. She'll
That's
go
awesome.
for it. Like
That's awesome. What's her drink of choice? What's her poison?
so, right before I moved to the South, like literally, I think the day before, maybe I went to a cousin's wedding. Whole family's there.
Yeah.
I was helping work the bar too, and my mom box wine, right? So this is open bar, but this is open bar in that like my uncle went to the liquor store and got
Yeah.
25 cases of beer and
Yeah.
15 boxes of wine and was like, okay, we got this. Dude.
A real trash setup, dude.
Man. Yeah, it's a barn, a wedding in like a
course
barn
it
that
is.
they rented. Yeah,
Of course it is.
so and I had a few.
That's
drinks.
a plastic
Yeah.
cup too. That's wine in a plastic cup.
It
which
sure is.
That hits different.
Yeah, but
dude.
like the hard plastic
Yeah.
cup. Yeah,
melting
the
in
one that
those
seems like it's
BPAs.
for wine.
Yeah, the small one.
So my mom has. I have no idea, but my mom gets so hammered at weddings, like. We kind of have to rotate through, like passing her off between people,
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
care,
yeah.
and then
Run some interference.
yeah, dude, at my sister's wedding. So I became a problem the night before my sister's
nice,
wedding.
nice.
Because it's like it's a destination
Classic.
wedding. It's in Mexico.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
what are we doing here, dude?
I had probably 25 margaritas the day before. I was day drinking hard for probably 14
It's
hours.
Mexico. Of course you are.
I drank so much. I was so hungover
The
that
day of the wedding.
like after the wedding when we were having dinner, I had wine in front of me and I was just looking at it like I think I'm going to throw up.
That's hilarious. You're just at the dinner like, my God.
But the next day is when my mom decided it was her day
yeah.
to send it.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing she looked at me and she's like, he drank from like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
until like 2 in the morning. I'm tough. I'm cool. I can pull that off.
Oh.
So she starts drinking double martinis.
That's just a big old cup of vodka right there, dude.
It
That's just a
it
big
sure
old cup of
is.
vodka. People try to church it up. I'm
Yeah.
like, you just
No.
shook a vodka. It's like you just shook a glass of vodka, and then I poured it over here. And now
Yeah.
you're eating olives like it's going to save your life. Dude, you've had 8 shots.
So I think she had 4 of them by like 2 p.m.
Yikes. That's like probably 10 or 11,
Yeah.
depending on how they're pouring. That's
It
a
was
lot.
it was quite a bit. Yeah.
That's a lot.
So
That's see you tomorrow territory.
yeah. So like we had to like that was one of those where dad had to bring her back to the room and just nobody saw mom until that night because she had to sleep it off.
Yeah. God.
Have you ever done that?
What?
Have you ever started so early and gotten too drunk too fast and then you basically sleep through the afternoon and wake up at like 10?
Dude, I've been to Florida.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Absolutely. On a beach trip,
Yeah.
send it heavy.
Like
in the
right up
sun.
front.
Oh, yeah, dude. We've
One time I
was
did that on
that's
Twisted
the joke is like
Teas.
when people would come downstairs like we would rent a house and people would come downstairs they're like he lives because that sun liquor
It'll get
combination will fucking ravage you, dude.
Bro, I did that on Twisted Teas one time, and it might be still the most hungover I've
That's
ever
too
been.
much sugar.
It is.
That's too
It's
much
a big
sugar.
problem.
That's a big problem.
Bro, that in the sun on the beach, I was just reading Dune. I'm pretty sure
Such
I was.
a
I'm
nerd,
pretty
dude.
sure it was when I was
Such a fucking
starting it for
nerd.
the first time,
Yeah.
just sitting on the beach reading Dune, getting plastered on Twisted Teas.
You gotta have an umbrella.
Yeah, I was under something,
Yeah.
and then there was I think I was under something. I might not have been.
No, you might have just been out there getting barbecued.
And there was a Publix like right across the street behind the beach.
That's
so
so
like
Florida.
I would just huh?
That's Florida as shit.
Yeah. So I would like get 2 twisted teas, drink them, walk over, get 2 more cuz then they were always cold.
Mm-hmm. You
And
don't have
I
to lug around a cooler like a dickhead.
Oh, I had probably 6 or 7 pints of twisted tea.
Damn.
And just
The worst hangover that I have ever had was my brother went to Puerto Rico, and he brought back this sugarcane rum. Oh my god!
well, that's what rum is.
It was just, I know, but it was like this pure sugarcane rum from Puerto Rico. It was so sweet, and I did not even think about it. And we drank it, and dude, it was like I woke up shaky, like when you're like,
Oh, I'm gonna die.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. And then another time, I sent it at McCracken's, and I woke up in a panic, like my heart was racing. Like, dude, I woke up at like 4 in the afternoon. I had time traveled. I went into a Walgreens and like. The lady was concerned.
Dude, McCracken's, it's easy to send it in there. It's got that old Irish bar vibe. I don't know what about it. It's just easy to just crush
And I was
beers.
drinking with a guy that was doing doubles, and I didn't realize it. I was going, God damn, these drinks are strong. I didn't realize he was ordering doubles. And then I got my bill like, yikes, dude. What the fuck? Dude, they were telling me they went to a bar in Atlanta last night, and they were saying that one drink was $14. Get the fuck
Where?
out of here. I don't even know. If they said it, I forget. I was like, that's crazy.
That's too much.
A double was $26 or something for Tito's. I'm like, that's. But I looked at my buddy. I was like, shame on you for not taking a flask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Bro, that's just drink the Coors Lights, man.
Yeah, but I mean, if a liquor drink's $14, I guarantee you a Coors Light's got to be like $7. That's what kills me when I go to a concert and I get a beer.
If
and
you
it's
got to
like,
pay $7 for a beer,
yeah, you're like,
it better at least be a 24 ounce.
has to be. And then,
But I don't know about you. I hate a 24 ounce. I don't
was
like
gonna say it tastes like piss by the time I get done with it.
Yeah, because it's warm.
Yeah, and
Like-
then if you're in a crowd like at a concert, it's like just
Even a
microwave
16
it.
ounce is pushing it.
Yeah, then I'm forced.
Actually,
to
you know what's pretty good? Grab a couple of beers out of there. I want one. Do you want a beer? These are the best 16 ounces. These motherfuckers stay cold.
Yeah, I was about
These
to say.
keep those mountains blue. Also, this pack has been incredibly hard to get the lids off of.
These are nice. The aluminum bottles. That's always fucking.
Help me. I have gamer hands.
Damn.
Okay, so it wasn't all me.
No, it was wet. Yeah, man. These are the ice colds. I do like a Coors Light, like a glass bottle Coors Light at McCracken's rules.
Yeah, it does.
Like right before I get on stage. That's nice.
I like a High Life.
I hate High Life.
You fucking
They used to, the big thing in Savannah was a bartender handshake. They give you a shot of Fernet and a Pony Boy High Life. That was like a handshake.
Bro, a Pony High Life is so nice.
I know I'd always have to drink it because I didn't like it, but they would bring it over for free, and you're like, fuck.
Well, High Life was my early beer.
I know. You said that.
That was the beer
It
I would
just
steal from my
tastes-
dad.
I don't know. Just never been a High Life man. It is not the champagne of beers to me.
It's good stuff.
What's your favorite beer? All time. Top beer.
All time.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Lord Grey?
No. No. Lord Grey is my favorite Georgia beer.
Nice.
Uh,
I was drinking.
here's the thing. All time, I'm going to go to a style that you're not going to get it.
Here we go. What is it? Yeah, I don't even know what that word is.
Rodenbach. So this is this stuff's so fucking good.
What's it taste like?
It's Belgian red. A Flemish red.
Yo, it's what delirium is?
No.
Oh.
No, that's Belgian. So this is a little bit different kind of Belgian, where it's a sour, but it's
Okay.
more sour than probably any beer you've had, most
I wanna
likely.
try it. I like
Um,
sour beers.
It's a little heavier. It's like really got this like dark red color to it,
Nice.
and the whole thing with this beer, it's like super traditional. The brewers are
Mhm.
real tight-lipped about it. I think this brewery's been around.
Probably forever. It looks old. 1821.
Yeah, 1821. So they've been doing it for a long time.
Where's it out of?
It's in Flanders,
Let's go. Let's fucking
like
get
southern
some.
Belgium.
Let's get some. We'll try it on the next podcast.
Dude, it's I don't know where to get it around
That would
here.
we'll go to Total Wine again. That would be hilarious. Like we're just
Dude,
drinking and doing our own thing, but we just never introduce the guest.
That would be
we do an
funny.
entire taste. That would be so funny to do a tasting while the guest is there.
Yeah.
and don't give them any.
Yeah, that would be super fun, especially because you usually get it in a big bomber bottle where it clearly has enough for 3 people.
Oh man, that's absolutely because I
Yeah.
do like. I think that I don't
No,
know
this
why
stuff
that
is
is so
awesome.
funny to me. Is just to like not introduce the guest. But
Yeah.
it's so funny to me.
But no, the process on this stuff is like half of it for
Oh,
me, where
really?
it's like interested. It's a lot of real old world techniques where,
That rules.
so like when they make the beer, they boil it, which is what you do. Basically, that makes sure that there's no microorganisms alive in
Right.
it, and you do that before you inoculate it. Normally, what they do is they put it in a device that's called a cool ship. That's his name. And it's basically a big, wide, flat, like wide tank. So
Yeah.
there's a maximum surface area on top, and they let it cool in there with the windows open in the cherry orchard where the brewery is located. And then all of that microorganisms get in there, and then they age it,
They're like, we just leave the window open.
and then they age it in these giant
Yeah,
barrels,
you're like, there's a fucking stick in my beer.
and this is where they get sour. And it's a long process. I think it's at least
Yeah,
2
we're gonna
or
get
3
this. We're gonna
years.
try
It's
it.
really
We're gonna
good.
definitely- We're gonna try it. Somebody
And that's
got a-
also, by the way, that's not the best one of those. That is, I think, the best price point one that I've ever had. Because usually it's like under $20
Yeah.
for one of those big bombers, and it's a
Yeah.
really, really good sour.
Yeah, we'll try it out. That'll be fun. We'll try out some different beers. Somebody got a whiskey sour the other night with a Merlot topper, just like a splash of Merlot. Fucking tastes pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. The Merlot, like they were saying, that takes the like sweetness and kind of cuts it.
I don't
neutralizes the cocktail. Man, cocktail culture is so interesting to me because there is a
Yeah.
lot that goes. Like you can't like there is some rah bullshit. You know, like I've never like smoked cocktails where they like smoke. You know, like, just give me the goddamn drink.
Yeah.
Quit setting shit on fire, bro.
Yeah.
Just give me the fucking.
You're
drink.
just being flashy at this point.
Yeah.
But
They used to have guest bartenders in Savannah when people would like come in from out of town and they'd have like guest bartenders. That was crazy.
yeah.
Like one time I went and this guy made like a 15-step cocktail. I was like, dude, I'm gonna chug this.
I don't. Yeah.
I can't feel my face. What does it matter? You know what I'm saying, dude? I smoked 14 Marlboro Lights before I walked in here, dude. Save
Bro,
it.
you could pour me a pap off it. I couldn't tell the difference.
Save it.
Pour
bud.
me a plastic bottle
God,
of vodka, and
that
I'm
was
gonna
a
tell you.
fucking fun bar. It was called the Alley Cat Lounge. That's that shirt I had that says "I know."
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Dude, that place was wild. They did these tiki drinks that were just like one and done. You finish a
Those
tiki drink, it's
places.
like call an Uber.
Yep.
You were shit faced.
That's like when I found out that Long Island iced tea doesn't have any iced tea in it. You know, I had like 3 of them.
So
And
you're
then I
telling me this isn't
Yeah.
tea.
And I turned to my buddy and I'm hammered. How much of this is tea? And he's like, none of it is tea.
Yeah, none of it. It's just
And I was like,
liquor
what?
soup.
Yeah. And then he
It's just-
explained that to me. I was like, oh, I'm going to go home.
Yeah. When somebody's ordering Long Island iced teas, they generally are running from something.
You're trying to
Mm-hmm.
numb the pain
Yeah.
if you're drinking that.
They're, most of the time, if somebody's ordering a Long Island iced tea, they're gonna be a talker. They're gonna want to vent.
What's the earliest in the day somebody's ever asked you to make them one?
I used to have a guy come in at 4:00 right as we opened, and he would get Long Islands. He would drink like 3 of them. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That's the
dude.
right number if you're trying to get
Jesus
there.
Christ, dude. I had a guy that was a regular that I had to tell. I was like, you
That's
gotta
what-
chill. I was like, you gotta chill, dude. You can't come in here and act
Yeah.
like that. Because he would come in and drink martinis. And I'm like, dude,
Oh,
those
yeah.
are 3 ounces of vodka. And he would come in and I have like 4. I'd be like, dude, you've had like 12 shots. You can't be crying at the bar, dude. I'm up here trying to make money. You're bumming everybody out. Like he would like cry and like to tell people his woes. I'm like, hey, quit doing that.
By the way, 3 Long Island iced teas is what I call the trifecta.
Yeah, the trifecta's kicking in. Dude, that guy's eyes still haunt me to this day. When he put his glasses down, I was like, God, there's nobody home.
Yeah.
Little John calls them shark eyes. That guy's got them shark eyes.
Gator eyes.
That's when you know you're bad. I saw a picture the other day of somebody's, my buddy had a bachelor party, and I was like, yikes, dude, y'all should take them pictures down. They're all just jaws. Dude, y'all look crazy.
It couldn't be worse if one of you had a nosebleed.
Oh, my God, dude. A nosebleed as a drug addict is fucking horrific because ain't nobody believing anything else you say. You start bleeding, everybody like, come on, dude. Rein it the fuck in. Yeah, we had a dude that got a nosebleed at the job I was working at. It was just a coat head, and it was a white shirt, and he had no idea. He's like, walked back. There's fucking blood all down the front of him. He looked like the guy from Scream. Dude.
Oh, man. That's not
You
good.
cannot go. Have you been talking to tables?
Talking
Can you
to
imagine
tables.
this? Can I get you more sweet tea? Oh, my God. You're fucking bleeding.
I can't believe you drank this much sweet tea.
That's one thing you can't do. You can't be visibly bleeding at the
No.
restaurant. You know what else is fucking grosses me out? Hickeys. When people come in with a hickey, I'm like, bro, you cannot serve people's food with a sex wound on your neck.
A sex wound?
That's crazy, dude.
That's what I
like-
call vaginas.
that is a goddamn, like an Animal Planet fucking marking on your neck. Like, that's crazy to me. That's like, what? I've never understood that. I have always just been like,
Hey, would your mother be upset if she saw that?
I wait tables. I'm always, hey, don't be biting on my neck. Fucking grown ass man. Don't be doing that shit.
Yeah, I'm doing
That's
stuff.
crazy.
That's
That's
actually why my hair's so long. My neck is always covered in hickeys.
Oh. It's like we had a buddy.
I have a vacuum cleaner.
I remember these guys one time talking, and the guy was like, we're like all at the pool, and he's like, yeah, every time I fuck a chick, she has her nails scratched down my back. I'm like, that might not be a good thing, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
They might decide they don't like you very much.
what-
There might be a moment.
yeah, that might be them getting back at you. Like, dude, that too. I've
It
seen
might
that.
be the moment that they say deeper and you say, I can't.
Yeah, that's all
And
I
then they're
got.
like, all right, I'm going to claw this guy.
Try to force you up in there. I hate that. Nail scratching is terrible. You know what else I can't stand? Pinching. Pinching is just like...
Pinching? Bro, if you pinch me, I will punch you in the face.
Yeah, pinching is just...
That's an assault.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, could you imagine pinching somebody in the middle of like an argument? Just like leaning over and just the back of their...
Dude, if you do the back of my arm, if you pinch me in the back of the arm, you're lucky I don't carry guns.
My grandmother used
That's
to sit at the table, and all the
insane.
kids, all the grandkids would have to sit by her, bro. And if you started misbehaving at the restaurant, she'd lean over and pinch your thigh.
Here's the thing. That's okay.
That hurts so
If
bad.
Pinching is it's so much of like a disciplinary thing that it's like if you an adult
hate
man pinch me
That
for
would
any
flip me
reason,
out, dude. If somebody
it's
just
gonna
went-
be a big problem.
somebody just lean
like-
over and pinched you.
Like, I think the order goes. It's like
Spitting's definitely
getting
first.
punched in the face.
Spitting's got to be up there.
Spitting's number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Pinching is number 3. That's my order. Like, if you want me
Before
to fight
pinching, slapping. If you slap me,
nah, dude, a slap is below a pinch. Because a slap, it's so like.
a slap is disrespectful.
First of
as
all,
shit.
a slap, it's probably a lady, so you can't.
No,
hit them
I've seen
back.
plenty of dudes get slapped. I've slapped people. I've slapped people where you're just like, dude, I don't want to hit you because I know you're not expecting this, but I am here to let you know that is fucking wildly unacceptable. Like, for me to slap you, it's got to be something crazy. Like, you'd
Yeah.
have to like grab Christina's ass or something. Like, what? You're like, this cannot stand.
But a slap feels more appropriate as a disciplinary action for an adult than a pinch.
Dude, a pinch would freak me out.
A pinch
bro.
is so disrespectful. Like, a slap is like, I respect you enough as a man. You fucked up bad, and I need to let you know that. Slap. Pinch, fuck no, dude.
Could you imagine
We're fighting now.
that those dudes used to just take their glove off and slap you across the face with a sweaty ass glove? Like,
Ooh,
I wonder if you had to duel. You're like, somebody's got to die now,
Yeah,
dude. You just
yeah.
slapped me. That glove probably smelled like a ball sack.
dude, that glove probably smelled like hand sweat and
Oh.
horses.
Yeah, dude. That's a rough. That's why it was so disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
you
makes
got to
sense.
shoot somebody in the fucking head if they slap you with a fucking glove like that. That'd be the only thing worse would be a wet sock.
Dude, you take your sock off.
I hate that, and I hate cold toes. Get
Yeah,
your
cold
cold
toes are tough.
But there is something about when you have cold toes, you want to put them under somebody. Like you want to. You don't want to be the only one with cold toes. You're like, bro, somebody else has to feel this. It's a sickness. It's
I
not a
don't
good.
ex-
It's a
I don't-
toxic trait.
I don't experience that as a
It's
single
a toxic
man.
trait. Yeah, if you got cold toes, it is a toxic trait to want to put them on somebody.
Fuck, dude, that pinching thing really threw me off.
Yeah, I was saying you're still thinking about the pinches. Like somebody
I-
just walks right up to you, just pinches you.
Did I ever tell you about slap drills in the army?
No.
This was something. This
That
was
sounds
a revelation in. This was a revelation when I told this to Patrick, and I kind of realized that like
Yeah.
this was I was abused effectively.
yeah, I like
me
these
and my whole
chapters where
unit.
you, where you start to slowly
You're
confront
like,
your abuse.
"Oh." Yeah. So basic training, we were doing a different range. That's the first red flag. Is we like went to go do some other kind of training, and they're like, we're also going to do slap training today. We're like, what is that? They pair you up with somebody roughly your size. That is the drill sergeant's decision on who is roughly your size.
Yeah.
So there's a couple mismatches because there's got to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say not everybody. That
Bro, you stand in front of each other and like those Russian slap videos.
no.
Yeah. So one side you slap your partner, other side goes, and if you don't slap hard enough, then they're like, okay, try one more time. You got to hit them. If you
That's
don't hit it,
fucking
they're like,
crazy.
you got, and if you don't hit them hard enough, then the drill sergeant hits that person.
God damn it! I bet they slapped the shit out
Dude,
of
I
people.
watched a drill sergeant slap a lady
What?
because we had females in our basic training.
Yeah.
And
Like,
two of them
bro,
wouldn't slap
we
each
just
other.
time
I
traveled.
mean, it was a female drill sergeant. We had those too,
oh, a female drill sergeant slapped
but
the
still
lady.
slapped the shit out of this lady, dude.
I'm sure, dude. She
So,
probably went.
Here's the
fucking-
thing. I've never spoken to any other veteran of any branch who has gone through slap training. So that was just like a fun thing for the drill sergeants to make us do.
Yeah,
Was
that
just
sounds like something.
let's
that
make them
somebody get in
slap
trouble.
each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was like one time we went to a football camp and they gave us Bibles, and then we realized it was like a Christian fellowship, and we are like, what? Like this is like you can't do that. You can't make us go to church. Like that's crazy. I was like, somebody's gonna get in trouble, dude. When they started passing out the Bibles, I was like, what? Like, what are we talking about? That was crazy. I got in trouble at that camp because I didn't want to snitch on snitch on my roommate. Because they're like, is your roommate in the room? I was like, I don't know. They're like, well, let me see your key. I was like, I don't know where it is. They're like, it's around your neck.
You're like, what?
I just was like, bro, I'm not opening up that door because I knew he was
Yeah.
in there. I was like, you're going to have to
Wait, they
figure it
were
out.
looking for him?
Because he wouldn't go to the things. He didn't believe in.
Yeah.
He's like he was really adamant about not going to church because his dad was like, made him go to church his whole life. He's like, I don't
Yeah.
fucking want to do that. So he wouldn't go. And then he got in trouble. And I was like, this is a weird thing that they're making. You know what I mean? Can I
Yeah.
get one of those?
Forced indoctrination is weird.
Insane. I
Yeah.
was just like, dude, like, how is it? I was like, one of those times where I was like, this is one of those things where I was like, he's gonna get in trouble. You know, eventually a kid is gonna be like, I don't want to go, and you can't
Yeah.
make somebody go to fucking and like punish them. He had to run at night.
So they kicked him out.
No, I ended up getting kicked off the team with him because
Nice.
he was like wouldn't go, and then we just went out and we're like walking around, smoked cigarettes, fucking hanging out, and then we went back to the thing, and they treated us like pariahs. They like kicked us off the team.
What age was this?
It was in like 10th grade.
Okay.
And dude, they like legitimately wouldn't let us talk to the rest of the team. They made us sit at the front of the bus. We weren't like allowed to turn around. It was crazy. They treated us like weird. And it was just, I just was hanging out with him because I felt bad. He was like my roommate. I was like, this is bullshit that you're getting in trouble. And they're like making you run and like do all this craziness.
I was homeschooled
Really?
for like
I didn't
part.
know that.
Actually, really, I talked to my mom the other day about it to figure out like how much, and so I left school at 5th grade, did 9th grade at a school, and then graduated 12th
What?
grade.
I didn't realize that.
Or no, I did 11th grade in school too.
Oh, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. But like I think 10th grade I was also homeschooled. But like
That's got to be crazy.
also,
To
and I
just
didn't
miss a year, you just like went and did it at home.
Well,
and
and
then
I-
came back.
yeah. So
Everybody's like, "Where the fuck did you
here's
go?"
the thing. Homeschooling was awesome, and partly because I talked to my mom about this the other day. She was like, "Yeah, this is like I looked into finding a homeschool curriculum that wasn't like school. And basically it was just reading. It was like, wake up, you
That
have
makes
these
so
5
much
books,
sense.
you've
This
got to
makes
read
so much
this
more
much
sense
of
to the
these
way you
books
are,
and
dude.
write a thing. Yeah.
This is I was like never could put my finger on it. It's like yeah.
Yeah, work yourself. You know, basically, you just had to get a certain amount of reading from certain books.
It's just funny. You had that like you were homeschooled, and then I had like such an insane experience at school because I was like always in trouble. But like we had a food fight, and like I had like a real like almost like a movie of a high school. Like when I went to Sequoia, we had like giant parties at this dude's house
Yeah.
that his dad didn't give a fuck. It was
That's-
like really like something nobody ever.
Well, that's why
crazy.
I was never involved in any of that. That's why I'm a little bit of an outsider naturally, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was burning the candle at both ends.
I didn't-
Jesus Christ.
I didn't know about that stuff. Like that stuff was definitely going on. I couldn't tell you who was involved, where it
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
when it was. No
I remember,
idea.
like, we got to the point where we were just all sitting out there. I vividly remember playing football. We're sitting out there and we're getting our ass kicked. I just looked at my buddy and we're like in the huddle, and he's like, "You going to Trevor's later?" I was like, "Yes, God, I cannot wait." I was like, "I'm so over this
Yeah.
game." Like, we are getting the shit kicked out of us, dude. I am ready
Yeah.
to go smoke a bowl.
Never had that.
This is crazy. Yeah,
I was
Trevor's house
going to
cool,
like
too, because-
Wednesday night youth group at church.
Oh, fuck no, we
Yeah.
did poker on
Nah,
Thursdays.
that was my shit. I had fun with that.
We did poker on Thursdays. When I was a kid in like 9th grade and 10th grade, we would drink on Fridays during the day at school. Like people would drink, because we would travel. So Grayson was a newer school. So they played 3A schools, but there was no 3A around us because Gwinnett County was all 5A schools. Everybody's huge. So as a new school, we had to travel. So they would put us on charter buses, and we would take charter buses and drive like 3 hours. So they would let you get checked out of school.
Whoa.
So 9th graders, we got to dress, but there was no chance you were ever going to play. So we'd like booze a little. You get all these snacks. Bro, you just stand on the sidelines eating snacks. Got the best seat in the house. It was like we went to the playoffs. We're just on the sideline like, dude, this is awesome. Never going to play. It was cool, though.
Yeah.
Getting in the charter buses, you felt like a fucking NFL team.
Oh, I bet.
And they made you dress nice, so you had to wear a shirt and tie to school.
Oh, you got to be fancy. Yeah,
Mhm.
of course.
You felt like a fucking, it felt awesome. It was like, remember the Titans. You felt
Yeah.
fucking special.
Yeah. Well, I played football one year, 9th grade.
Yeah.
It was my. I only played 9th grade. That's the thing.
yeah.
Is you start and then
Yeah,
you're
that's
like,
not a
I
great-
did not start early.
Yeah, that's what
enough."
I'm saying. That's not a great time to come into it.
Bro, there was one practice hit that made me like, I should probably stop doing this.
Yeah.
Where, dude, it was, I can't remember what they were doing. They were having, I don't know, some kind of practice where it was like a guy gets thrown the ball and then he's got to run through and you've got to play kind of like defender, but you're kind of like, we're half-assing it, you know? I didn't realize the coach was like watching, but the guy with the ball did. So he just fucking puts his shoulder down and like off the ground, knocked all the wind out of me. Probably, if
That's
I'm
the
being
worst,
real,
because you sound like such a bitch when you get the wind knocked out. You're like, ooh.
yeah, if I'm being real, probably CTE. Like,
Dude.
I went down, saw stars, and then the first thing I heard was the coach go like, good hit. Like, just no consideration, just like congratulates this
That
kid
happened to me.
for wrecking me, for changing
Yeah.
my perspective of the game we're playing. I'm like,
That happened to me. I got
no.
leveled when I was a kid, probably like 10, 11. I'm talking about guy cracked
crushed.
back on me and murdered me. And I remember laying on the sideline. They were going, whoa, what a good hit. And I was like, dude, that guy must have killed me. I was like, because
Yeah.
everyone is so pumped. I was like, their sideline is going crazy. I immediately threw up. That's how you know you have a concussion. When you immediately throw up after a head injury, not great.
I just remembered how that play went when I got hit. It was I had the ball, and they
Oh.
were saying left or right lane,
Yeah.
and you had to go
Yep.
through one of them.
Mm-hmm. That's a
So
great drill.
so it was the defender
Yeah, and
The
that's a great
defender
drill.
just fucking crushed. I was like, we're practicing. You're not supposed to like murder me like that.
Oh
And-
yeah,
but
yeah,
he
yeah.
did.
I was an asshole when I played. Like when
Not
I was a
into it.
senior, I would lay people out in
Yeah.
practice for no reason.
I think that was the
I was
situation.
the
basically.
dirtiest player.
Ugh.
I was the worst.
That's not that surprising, actually.
When I played football, it was fucking. I did not believe in sportsmanship. I wouldn't shake your fucking hand. I'm not helping you off the ground. I'm gonna step
Damn.
on your mouthpiece, dude. One time, this guy was like, "Hey,"
Bonnaroo.
he was
and
like,
you,
he's like, it was like raining, and the dude was like, "Hey, my mouthpiece is right there," and I just looked down at it and I just stepped on it.
Oh.
And one of the dudes I played with was like, "Damn, bro." He's like, "That's not." Like, he was like, "Bro, there's a line."
so how long after this did you meet Disco Stew?
Oh,
Like,
man,
where's
that
the-
was my senior year. See, that was the thing. That never carried over. The hippy dippy shit never carried. Once I started playing football, I liked it. I liked to hurt people.
That's
I liked to
crazy.
feel. My favorite thing was to feel somebody when you hit them, to feel them just crumple under you. It was awesome. I loved it. I was sick, dude. I was sick. I was like, that's why I'm like afraid to start doing jujitsu because I'm
Holy
like,
shit,
I'm
dude.
gonna like it. I like to hurt people. Like when you're wrestling and stuff, there's something nice about physically dominating
buddy.
your opponent. I can only imagine about doing like UFC, like
Oh,
just
yeah.
knocking somebody the fuck out. You probably feel amazing.
Yeah, that stuff.
Dude, I watched a
is
bare
crazy.
knuckle woman's fight the other day. Yikes! I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
These women were hitting so hard. I was like, holy shit!
You're like-
and neither one of them looked like that. I was like, dude,
Yeah,
could
you're
you
like-
imagine?
You're
this
like,
girl at a
ladies,
bar?
you're about to make both of you not pretty.
Dude, you imagine at a bar, some drunk dude just smacks her on the ass. She's a bare knuckle boxing
fuck.
champion. Have you seen that video from Savannah? There's a place in Savannah, and this dude walks by and he smacks the waitress on the ass, and dog, she turns around and fucking body slams him, and then they get him arrested. He gets arrested in front of his wife and kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm like, dude,
That's great.
that's
what
divorce.
What
That's
a
divorce
feel-good
level
story.
embarrassment. You know, like your
Yeah.
husband just walked by and goosed a server, and then she fucking slams his, and it went viral online because
Hell
the
yeah.
security camera footage is awesome.
Bro, that should be we should let all the drug dealers out. Only dudes who slap girls' asses randomly.
I mean, what the fuck are you thinking?
That's
dude?
such a crazy
That's
move.
insane. When you watch the video, like what
me,
the fuck are you?
I
I get
am-
drunk as shit, and it's like I've never
Yeah.
just like goosed a waitress walking by. Like,
I am incredibly misogynistic. And
I
I
just
think
stand by that.
that's such a piece of shit move.
okay, it's great to watch her slam them too.
Like,
You're
I don't think
damn.
women should vote. No, I'm just-
God, Trent. I'm trying to get female viewers, dude. What? Don't incel on my podcast, bro.
I'm joking,
Yeah,
mostly.
yeah. Dude, I've seen some open micers when they get up.
Oh,
you're like,
yeah.
Whoa, dude.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what is happening? Go back to your hole.
That's why it's like
their cave.
you got to learn when you're doing comedy that most of what you say should be a lie, and if you're doing it right, it should be to the point where you don't really even have beliefs anymore because
Right.
most of what you're saying is a lie.
Yeah. I like when people get mad. And you're like, I'm fucking
You're like,
joking.
I don't mean it. If you
It's like that one lady
You're
when
like,
I tell
if it-
that joke about the kids in like public school, and I'm like, so we all know somebody
Yeah.
that cut themselves. One lady got so offended by that. I was like, I didn't cut those kids.
if it came off mean, it's because it was a joke.
Yeah, like, lady.
And if it didn't come off mean, it's because it was a setup to a joke.
I think it's interesting to see like just the differences is when people pay to be there. You know what I mean? When you have the paying
If you're-
audience, that's
the paying audience is what you. And it's weird how if you do too many like bar shows, you can kind of lose the ability to do the paying audiences because you get too rough.
yeah. You're used to like battling people,
Yeah.
and then you're battling, and everybody's like, Jesus Christ, dude,
Yeah,
we're
they're
right
like,
here.
Why is this guy such a dick?
Yeah, dude, leave my
Yeah.
wife alone.
Yeah.
That's the worst when you see a comic picking on somebody and they're going too hard. You're like, dude.
It is a thing that like not every open micer goes through, but a lot. I think I have probably had a period of this.
I'm not good at it, so I stay away from it. I
well-
get too mean
well-
too fast.
Well, where people get upset that people don't like their jokes,
Yeah.
and they very quickly just go like full fire and brimstone.
yeah.
They just
Scorched
start
earth. They're like, burn it down, dude.
just going nut. Like a minute and a half into the set, it's
Mm-hmm.
like you've told a joke and a half.
Mello always handles that so nicely. He's
Yeah.
like, well, then tell some jokes, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Mello's the best at bringing it back. Hey, don't yell at my my fans, my crowd. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Absolutely.
Oh, man, where are we at? What we been doing?
We're at an hour.
Nice. You got to see the hand pan today.
I did.
What'd you
I didn't.
think?
I didn't think it was going to be that big.
It's crazy, right?
Because you had talked about getting a tiny one at one point.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
when you said you got one, I just kind of that's what was in my head. And then you walk in here with this fucking backpack on.
Looking like a Ninja Turtle, dude. I can't wait to go hiking when it gets nice. I'm going to be hiking down the trails with that. Because you got to hike to a waterfall. That's where you got to play.
Yeah, that's where you're supposed to play it.
That's where you find
I think it's
hand
I think it's technically illegal to play it anywhere else.
pan. They're like, sir, are you high? Sir.
Yeah. Like if a cop walked by while you were playing it in here, they would have, probable cause to come in here.
No, yeah. For sure. They're like, is that a hand pan? We're coming in. That's hilarious. Yeah. Hand pan is crazy. If you don't know, y'all should look it up. It's fun, man. It's like a little, I called it a transcendental turtle shell.
It's like a UFO.
Dude, when you start playing it, they have these meditative patterns where you're supposed to just play it, and it's very simple, and it's so that you don't have to think about it. Because, when you're playing different patterns, you're kind of thinking about what you're going to play. Then you just get into these ones and you meditate. It's crazy. You just start to melt away into that thing.
Do you think they'll let you bring that into the sensory deprivation tank?
Probably not, but that cannot be the first time that's ever been asked. It's probably a sign. You're like, can I bring my hand pan in? They're like, dude, no hand pans.
It's probably the second most asked question after, can I bring my moon crystal in?
Yeah. That's like in Asheville. There's signs that say no burning Palo Santo or sage. Seriously. Like, they have to fucking police people on that.
Yeah.
Like, quit burning your goddamn sage in here. I'm saging the space. But I will say, Asheville, I'm like, burn all the sage in the world because it fucking stinks.
They need it.
God damn. We went to see Chris Robinson Brotherhood one time, like 3 shows. And we got to the Asheville show. We showed up a little late. And we walked in. The crowd was already in there. It was like alarming how bad the crowd smelled. It was like, whoa, holy shit. Nothing is worse than like marinating in somebody else's BO. Like, that's fucking foul. Like, when I can smell people when they leave, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I went to go get a beer and I could still smell them.
If your scent lingers,
yeah, that's a
all.
problem. The second worst thing that's ever happened to me is I got hit one time with a wet dreadlock at a show. The dude in front of me like flipped his dreadlock and it came across my face and it was wet. I was like,
I would have bit it.
Oh, I was about to kill myself, dude. I was like, dude, I will hang myself with your dreadlock.
Bro.
It was foul.
That would be.
It was so bad. Smelled like a sock.
Yeah.
Like people walking around with a sock on their head.
And it only smelled like a sock because he just cleaned it.
It was one time we went to a festival and my buddy was like, this is ridiculous. And I go, what? He goes, it's Thursday night. These motherfuckers showed up this stinky. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I get it. Saturday, it's a hot festival. You're
they
sweating
all
all
came from
weekend.
their factory jobs.
Yeah. When you show up on Thursday and you stink like that, you're like, bro, you were the problem. That shit is foul. When people stink, leaves their body. I've been in an
stays
Uber.
around. Yeah.
I was in an Uber where I thought I was gonna stink because it stunk so bad. Like I was like, dude, this is gonna rub off on my jacket. Then I got in an Uber one time. The guy was burning an incense. I was like, bro,
how bad was the last one?
it was insane. I was like, this is too tight of a course. Like, you can't burn an incense in a fucking Honda Civic, you know?
In a Hyundai.
What are we doing, bro? You're hotboxing this shit, and it was one of those.
I mean, you can't burn one.
Incense.
You can't burn one in a Ford. You might be able to burn one in a Hyundai. I don't know.
That's the worst when you walk into a head shop to like get papers. You walk out and you stink because they got 19 incense burning. You're like, dude, are you just sitting in here in this? That cannot be good.
Dude, I liked incense when I was a kid, like a teenager, but I also didn't smoke weed, so it was weird.
Yeah. It's kind of like, yeah, that is.
My
weird.
parents definitely, here's the weird thing. My parents thought I was smoking weed, but I wasn't.
You're just up there chilling in a black light.
Dude, yeah. Yes, correct.
Listening to Pink Floyd. You're like, I just haven't got it yet.
Yeah.
I got all the components.
Pretty much. I was pretty much doing that to the point where when my parents found out that I was like, because I got into like cigarillos and like cigarettes
dude, you were smoking
from time
Swisher Sweets?
Oh, yeah.
Just Swisher Sweets.
Oh, yeah. Me and my friends, we would get one and like go to the woods.
Oh, my
because we were so sheltered, we didn't even know where to get weed. Like we weren't smoking.
Thank God.
So we were doing
brothers.
we were doing everything down to almost smoking blunts. And then when my parents found out, they assumed weed. When they were like, "Oh, we heard you've been smoking."
Yeah, I
was
would
like,
be flipped out. I'd be like, "Switch your sweets." Jesus
yeah, they were like,
You're taking
like,
years off your life, dude.
I watched relief when they were like, "Oh, it's not weed. It's fine."
Oh, you're just an idiot.
Oh, you're just tobacco. Well, because they were hiding cigarettes.
Oh, really?
At
Your
that
parents
point,
were
too.
sneaky smokers?
So I don't know
What'd
how.
you find out?
I don't know how long they were, but like there was a point in my teenage years where like it became very obvious where we all knew where both of the, like mom would do it when she would like go out somewhere. She'd smoke outside somewhere when nobody
you can't
was
hide
around.
cigarettes, dude.
My dad would smoke them in
stink.
his truck on the way home, and we all knew that they were in the glove
you're
box.
cranking a heater with the fucking windows cracked.
yeah.
You reek.
But I was also starting to smoke at that point too.
Yeah.
So like they were like, "Oh, okay, fine. That's not it." They were like, "It's not great, but
Yeah.
not as bad."
Yeah. My mom
'Cause
always
it's
smoked
legal.
Capri Menthol Ultralight. So when you stole a cigarette from her, you look like the biggest fucking loser, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody thought that shit was cool.
I think both of my parents were smoking lights.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, I got a cigarette. People would be like, hell yeah. And then you busted out a Capri Menthol. They're like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, I did. I was doing reds until like
That's what my dad smoked.
until I was
Marlboros.
like 22.
Jesus, those are tough. That's a tough look. That's a cowboy killer.
Bro, I used to smoke in Korea because Korean cigarettes are incredibly cheap. Like
Yeah.
15 when I was there, $15 to $20 a carton.
What? Jesus.
Yeah, like packs were like $1.50.
Damn.
On base, you could get the American ones that were, American cigarettes.
Yeah.
And
What's the difference?
they were like $5. So Korean ones have like an extra filter. They taste different. It's weird. It's hard to explain.
That's crazy. I wouldn't think there would be that big of a difference.
Oh yeah, foreign cigarettes are different.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want a foreign cigarette.
I
I went down a rabbit hole of sodas the other day.
used to get
sodas?
so I used to get the cheap pack from the military base.
Yeah.
It was like $3.50 a pack. Sonoma Reds. You ever had a red?
I've had a Marlboro Red. Never had a Sonoma Red.
Cigarette prices.
Yeah, that's the first thing that starts the cigarette.
Yeah,
price.
these things.
Man.
Oh yeah, I used to smoke these in Korea.
Yikes.
Yeah, they were like $3.50 a pack
Yeah.
on base.
That looks like it's going to be rough.
They were pretty rough. And then
Nothing is rougher than a Newport, though. A Newport is...
when I was smoking these, I could take a Newport.
No way. I can't do Newport. No
I mean,
fucking
Bro,
way.
Sonoma Red 100s.
No. The hundreds, dude.
I was smoking the hundreds, dude.
God
I would
damn.
when I was such an alcoholic in Korea.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Army, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it comes,
Really?
I think that comes with the territory.
Oh yeah, and Korea doesn't help. Like there's a saying about like if you go to Korea sober, you're gonna leave a drunk. If you go to Korea a drunk, you're gonna leave an alcoholic.
I can
Like
see
you're
that.
always gonna step up
I mean,
a
what
level.
else is there to do there?
So I went sober and I
And I-
became a drunk,
yeah.
and then I joined the beer industry and became an alcoholic.
Wow, that's a fun that's a fun way to get to it.
Fun ride.
You're like, I just never stopped living like I was in college.
Like I chugged a cup of vodka, a solo cup of vodka, my first day at my unit because it was like
Yikes.
it was like a cool kids thing. Like, hey,
Yeah.
we'll hang out with you. Like you're the new kid. You don't know anybody in this country. You don't know one person
Yeah.
in this country, on this continent. We'll hang out with you, but you got to chug this cup of vodka.
Jesus.
Chug a cup of vodka. Oh yeah.
I mean, I would have done it too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, peer pressure is
Bro,
real.
you're 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know my cousin's going to Korea. I'm like, oh my.
The day before I got
Oh,
there,
my.
the day before I got there, a guy fell out of a third-story window and cracked his head
Jesus.
open. I met him 6 months later.
Christ. Was he fucked up?
I met him 6 months later because he was in the hospital that whole time.
Oh, fuck. Was he
Yeah.
just drunk?
Yep, just hammered. Some people think he was trying to do something.
Damn.
Girl troubles.
You got to go higher than 3 floors, bro. That's yikes, bro. You got to.
I mean, that's the building. That's the size of the building we
that's
had.
just high enough to suck.
Nah, I mean,
That's a 3 stories.
depending
is a
how
rough
you
fall.
land.
Yeah, that's a rough.
Yeah, it was not. But yeah, so like that's the level of drinking. I saw a guy getting chased by a sergeant, run up to the 2nd floor, jump out the window onto like they had like one of those like I guess like a pavilion but up against the wall, like a shelter.
Yeah.
Jumped out onto that, jumped off, did a flip, and then rolled on the ground and just ran into the night.
What was he running for?
Dude, just hammered because he was hammered and he was about to get in trouble, so he ran away from the
like
trouble.
drunk parkour.
But here's the thing: you live in that building. Everybody knows which room in that. Your name is on the door of your room in that building. Like, you didn't get away.
No, it's like running away from a car that you just wrecked. It's like, bro, they got everything they need. Little John did that one time in Athens. He slapped one of our friends. They were arguing, and he's like, you know what, dude? The guy was all drunk. He's like, shut the fuck up. And he turned around and slapped him. As he slaps him, red and blue lights. Just like immediately, cops were driving by. Like, so Little John just takes off running. He's like, dude, I was out, like jumping fences, tearing through. He's like, I got away. I'm sitting there breathing. All of a sudden, he gets a call on his phone, and they're like, hey, they said if you don't come back, we're all going to jail. So then you have to come back. You're all cut up.
You just journeyed through the suburbs.
You have to come back like a dickhead. You're
Bro, like a
"Damn
90s sitcom where the guy's running through everybody's backyards.
it." Cops are like, yeah, we're not even going to chase him, dude. Call him up. Call his phone right now and tell him you're all going to jail if you don't come back.
How fat were the cops when you got back?
Yeah, pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't put. They came
Work
back.
smarter,
That
not
was
harder.
a good. Yeah, that was a good hand to play. That's not a bad card. Well, we'll take everybody to jail. Like, hey, come on, man. And
Just
it's like
because you
don't want-
slapped a guy?
Yeah, they just wanted to fucking check everybody's IDs. They ended up doing nothing. Yeah, our friend was a problem, dude. He was a problem drunk. He was one of those guys.
Yeah.
He was a problem. Like when you would go out with him, you're like, something's gonna happen. You just don't know what's gonna happen. But he would. I mean, dude, one time he went behind the bar and started making drinks. And he's just like pouring shots, and they're like, "Y'all are fucking out of here." I was like, "Why am I out of here? I'm not doing anything."
Yup.
They're like, "You took the shot." Well, he made it. I don't want to waste it.
We had a guy named Francis in Korea where like you could tell when if you were looking at him, there would be like one sip where he would be drinking and he would be a fun guy.
Yeah.
And then like one sip and you would just watch him turn angry.
No.
And
Mr. Hyde comes out.
it would be a big problem. But then it could go so many different ways where he would do different shit. He would either like try to fight somebody. He would just leave the bar without telling anybody and go to a different bar. Because also, I've explained the Ville to you. So you can do that. You can walk outside and walk across the street and there's another bar also next door.
It's kind of fun, though.
Yeah. But like
That's kinda
sometimes
fun.
he disappears and you're like, well, we're all in trouble if he's not back. Like this is a big problem for everybody. So we'd have to go find him. Sometimes he would just go back to his room and go to sleep.
That's the best case scenario. Dude, I time traveled to Nashville one
Not
time.
how you think. Because you think it's a best case scenario until you and 10 other dudes are searching this strip trying to find this guy because he won't answer his phone. And you're like, we have an hour before we have to be
He's
on
just
base
snoozing.
or else and then he calls somebody like right when we like have barely enough time to get back on base.
It's stressful.
Because there was a curfew. You had to be back in by midnight.
That sucks.
We had one guy get caught off base at like 2 a.m. or something because they send people out to patrol and look. But he's like first generation Indian immigrant, so his parents are from India. He looks like he's from India. He slapped on a fake accent, and they let him go. He convinced them that he was not a U.S. soldier. He was an Indian national
He'd catch me if you canned him.
visiting South.
He'd catch me if you canned him, dude. He hit him with the Leonardo DiCaprio.
Here's the thing. It almost worked. But then he goes back on base at when they open the gates when you're allowed to in the morning, when it's free. But he didn't wait long enough for shift change to happen.
Oh, fuck.
So the guy who he talked to the night before, he hands him his military ID, and the guy just looks at him and is like, come back here. We're gonna
like, dude, I just talked to you like 3 hours ago.
We're gonna throw some cuffs on you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Military police, that's not good.
No.
No
well, it was
rights.
Air Force Police, so.
Still, not great. Not great.
No.
I bet that's a stressful. No, I time traveled to Nashville one time on a bachelor party. I was sitting there and some guy was talking to me, and I was looking at him, and then I like kind of came to and looked around and was like, I don't know where any of my friends are. I looked at the bartender like,
Yep.
how long have I been here? He's like,
Yep.
about an hour. I was like, what? Just listening to some drunk dude who, took me captive.
I did that in Mexico at one
It's
point.
completely fucking disassociated for an hour.
Yeah.
The same thing. They were like, dude, we've been looking for you forever. It's like, I've literally been right in there.
I didn't move.
I've been in there. I listening to some guy like telling me all about Nashville musicians. Just
Oh, you mean any Nashville resident?
yeah.
You
Oh
could have
my
been talking to
God.
literally anybody.
I do that though. When somebody just starts talking at you at a bar and you just completely go to another place. It's usually people that come out of the bathroom.
That's how I'm going to end up getting a kegerator.
Dude, I'm telling you, you're talking about getting a kegerator, and I just have to warn you,
Keegan,
it's so easy.
you don't understand.
It's so delicious.
Keegan, you don't understand the level of access to beer that I have lived with.
I just feel like you're going to be just so drunk on podcast for a week.
No.
Or your guests are.
My guests will.
Yeah, they're
the
going to
guests
come over.
are. Yes.
The guest episodes on your podcast are going to
be a big problem. Yeah, but I'll be
especially if
okay.
you get like a really good beer. What beer are you going to get? First beer in the kegerator.
I want Lord Grey.
I wonder how much that would be.
Probably not cheap, but it's going to be delicious,
No, it would be delicious. Fucking ice cold.
bro. Especially if I get it rolling like right when like spring is starting to spring.
It is nice. Yeah, I had a roommate that moved in. I was like, what a
I mean,
nice addition.
Here's the thing. We'll have a set. I'll have like a night where I'll be like, this is break-in the kegerator night. And it's going to, I'll invite all the boys.
It's crazy.
And we'll see how
drunk
much of
you
that
get.
we can get.
Yeah,
through.
it's crazy how drunk you can get and how much you don't do damage on a keg. You're like, oh, we're killing this thing. It's like you don't put a dent in it. You're like,
It's a
that keg is going to kill
lot
us
to do.
before we kill it.
Bro, there was a time where my job for a short period was filling bottles out of kegs.
Yeah. It's a ton.
When you have to do 2 bottles at a time, filling bottles out of a keg, you really learn how much is in a keg.
So much.
And there is a lot of beer in there.
It's so unnecessary. Like, you think back on, like, high school parties, you're like, people are getting a keg for college. You're like, you do not need that.
Well, and also, like, in high school, how much realistically are you drinking? Like, I can drink any high schooler under the table.
Yeah,
at
this
this
is a
point.
finish the story challenge, bro.
Bro, any high school. Dude, if we're drinking Coors Lights, sometimes I'll have 15 of these in a night just because I can.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll wake up feeling pretty good.
That's crazy because I would wake up feeling.
It's as long as I don't mix anything else and take a lot of sugar.
I
like
smoke
I can't
too
eat,
much to
I
do
can't
that,
eat
too.
candy.
I smoke too much to do that because I start getting the little spinny winnies when
Weak.
I'm up to. Yeah,
Weak? I call that weakness.
I guess. I just, man, the big problem for me is the pen. When I'm out and drinking and having a good time out in public and you're ripping that pen and you're not thinking about it, and then all of a sudden somebody's talking to you and you're like, I am fucking alarmingly high.
That's why I never got into them.
Yeah. Especially now. They're strong as fuck now. Now you get these live resin pens. They'll change your night. Like, I'll watch people rip it and just their whole night changes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had a pen one time. We did an outdoor comedy show in Savannah, and it was like this outdoor like party. And this one dude that never really smokes was like, "Oh, this would be fun to like, hit that pen and then get up on stage." Dude, he got up on stage and just froze. He like got up there and just had nothing to say.
Yep.
He just looked out of the crowd and was like, I was like, everybody in the crowd's like, say something.
I like to call that lost in the sauce.
I mean, it was just hash. And he didn't ever smoke. He came up and took a wallop of it. You're like, yikes.
That's the thing about people that don't and have never really smoked much is that they don't understand how to smoke a little.
Yeah, especially with the hash, dude.
They're like full send every time.
I heard somebody the other day was telling me a story that they ripped the pen and they didn't realize it was not a weed pen.
Well, I told you about one
They
time
were at
a
a party
comic-
and they just ripped it and we're like, blew it out straight mothballs, and everybody was like, whoa, big hit. And they're like, what is that? And everybody was like, what? It's just what was that? Uh-oh. That doesn't taste like weed. Sit down. You about to go. Like my buddy said, the whole room was like, oh, at the same time, everybody realized they didn't realize it was a DMT pen. Everybody was like, oh, no. You're about to.
I call that the Irish goodbye.
That's the old Ezekiel goodbye. You're about to meet the angels, baby.
I told you about when a while back a comic scared the shit out of me, where he walked up to me and he just set a pen in front of me.
Oof.
And I was like, can I hit that? And he's like, sure. And as soon as I started hitting it, and it was one of those strong pens, so you start feeling it like right away. And as soon as I start feeling it, he goes, oh, that's DMT, by the way. And I looked at him and stopped, and I went, and he saw the fear in my face, because I was like, oh, I feel something. And then he said that, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm about to blast off
out here in this parking lot.
In the back of Mutation Brewing.
Oh, dude. That's
but then he like, as soon as he saw how scared I was, he was like, no, I'm fucking with you.
I'm just fucking with you. An accidental blast off has got to be one of the scariest things.
One of the scariest things you could do, maybe.
I've seen people not take it serious too. I've seen drunk people not take it serious and like really underestimate it. Dude, we saw a girl one time. So before we go to my buddy's house, and he has like special apparatus that's tuned to the right temperature. So we're going, you're going, and he would ask you how far you want to go. You'd be like, big boy dab, and he'd scoop it out, get his little shovel. So we're sitting there, and me and my buddy are sitting on the couch, and we're like in lotus, breathing, and this girl's like, what are y'all doing? We're just like getting ready. She's like, y'all are making me nervous. I was like, dude, you're making me nervous because you're not taking it serious.
You should be more nervous than you are.
This girl took a cloud. Like when she blew out her hit, I was like, oh no.
Like you got it a little bit?
I was like, yikes, dude. She laid her head back. Soon as she came back, she comes back. She's just like, fuck you guys. Fuck y'all. She's like, y'all said I was going to see some colors. Y'all didn't say I was going to leave Earth. She did not appreciate the experience. She was pissed. I've seen it go bad, like where people don't.
It's because people think you're using euphemisms when you say stuff like you're going to leave your body. They think you're doing like oh, these drugs are so strong.
Yeah, so heady.
That's what they think.
Your body.
No,
like, no, for real.
DMT is quite literally you will leave your body.
It's a roller coaster of psychedelics. It is the roller coaster.
It's like, the craziest one.
It's crazy and it's over quick. But once you get in and they lock you in, it doesn't matter. You can scream all you want going up the hill.
We're going.
You're there.
That guy at the bottom can't hear you anymore.
You are locked in. You have done it. Like you have done it. That time that I did the gravity bong of it, I done did it. I didn't realize I thought they were just talking about we were gonna do one each, and the guy was like, that was for everybody. His girlfriend goes, I don't even want to see what happens. She just got up and left the room. I was like, I'm panicking. I'm freaking.
Yep.
And dude, it comes on strong too. That sound hits the wah. It's just a rush. You're like, I have done it. I mean, you definitely. It's like I felt that in Dune when they're like, "What is the water of life?" She's like, "You'll die. You'll see the past and future." I was like, "That's DMT."
Yeah.
The water of life, the worm poison. That's what I like in it too, anyway. Yeah.
You will die, you may see.
They say that the toad venom is really like that. The secretion of the
that's the
5-MeO
5-MeO one, right? That's I've heard that one. You leave your body, but you just go to like blank space.
Mm-hmm. I don't want that.
No, that doesn't. What are you going to do in blank space?
Yes, I don't like that.
That's fun for like 5 minutes tops, and then you're like, well, now I'm bored and there's nothing to do.
Yeah, I would rather go run around that geometric fucking playground.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is. It might just be like a playground and they just let us like children run around that little area.
Maybe.
We're like in the kids section, just running down a slide, just whee.
Maybe.
They're like, God, these fucking humans are stupid. The first time I went, I felt like a like a chimpanzee at a laser show or something. Like I felt like I was running around just like I felt like I was annoying them. Whatever.
I just want to see a chimpanzee at a laser show now.
I was freaking out. I was not keeping it cool. I was like, dude, they're probably sick of my shit. Like, I can't wait till you get out of here. Just running through, just flipping over tables. It's astonishing. It's it's a lot to take in. That's why.
But it's the fifth dimension, so tables you can't really flip. They just kind of fold into other tables.
The way things move in that space is great. What's interesting, I think, the thing that I can't believe nobody really talks about is that it's all the same.
Me.
Huh?
Bear me. Oh, it's all this everybody's? Yeah. No, that's the weird thing about it.
That's what I don't understand. It's like, so how are we all describing the same place? Because you see that guy that like LSD World or whatever that paints, and he's painting these things, and you're like, I've seen this before. You know, like Alex Gray. You're like, whoa. There you go.
That one was bad. Oh, wow. Okay.
I was actually looking for the
That's
applause.
the other long one, yeah.
I was looking for the applause. You're right. It's even funnier if you try to go for something or you accidentally
and
hit
you
it.
miss, yeah. Hit me with an eagle.
We have to.
Oh no! Now
the last thing, I know we're over our time. The last thing that we have to talk about, that's a good segue into this, was the fucking trailers to Dune.
Oh, I forgot.
What in the fuck is I genuinely hate when people are like, we're living in idiocracy. That's like such a hack take.
But
we are living in idiocracy.
Bro.
Holy shit. That Ryan Gosling movie is crazy.
It was crazy because I was watching the trailer and I was like, this is going to be Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds. It's a Ryan of some kind.
Ryan Gosling is a fucking douchebag.
And it's... What I often find annoying about movies like that is when a movie is about how hard it is to be in Hollywood.
It's crazy. It's literally just like, I'm a fuckboy stunt guy.
I'm going to jerk myself
I'm
off.
the strong female director.
Come watch Ryan Gosling jerk himself off for an hour and a half.
Dude, what really got me, though, and I couldn't tell if it was just me, but we are now at Godzilla and King Kong are going to team up and fight something. I was like, dude.
Here's the thing. I have gotten drunk enough and watched the recent Godzilla and King Kong films. Yeah. So the funniest part about that to me is that they are getting so deep into the like hollow earth shit, because that's what that is all built in. That's all built around like hollow earth, Atlantis, fucking lost civilization stuff.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious to see Hollywood do that, but just, surrounded in giant CGI violence.
It's fucking insane, dude.
There was one thing.
Godzilla and King Kong are the tag team you didn't know you needed.
Hilarious. That was, basically what the movie was.
I was just like, dude, we have strayed far from the light of Godfather. Like, we are far from
the light of Godfather.
We are fucking out here, dude. We are sloshing through this shit.
Even the new Planet of the Apes trailer. We were like both of us were like, I didn't know that they got that far down this thought experiment rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Because now it's like the apes are the king. It's full circle back to basically what the original Planet of the Apes, what the guy landed into.
Right.
Where the apes are just like doing their thing. They have their own society and people are monkeys.
Yeah. I would much rather see the Planet of the Apes than that fucking Godzilla King Kong tag team.
I'm going to watch it.
Horrific.
It's going to be pretty sweet, I bet.
It's just like, dude, it's like John Wick 4. Yeah, he shoots you. Go fuck
John
yourself.
Wick 4, a new car.
John Wick 4, Tokyo Drift.
No, I think that was John Wick 3, actually.
It's like, dude, I'm just waiting for him just to start blending in movies together. It's like Fast and Furious, Transformer, John Wick.
Bro, John Wick in a Transformer might be the most unkillable.
I mean, I fucking hated John Wick.
Bro, John Wick driving Optimus Prime.
It was so bad. John Wick sucked.
It was cool.
It sucked. Like the second and third one are so bad. I was
Yeah,
like, what are we
they
fucking
lost me
doing,
pretty
dude?
quick.
What are
The
we
first
fucking
one was
doing?
sick as fuck.
New movies. I mean, it was surprising to me how bad the trailers were and how into it everybody else seemed. I was like looking around like during the King Kong thing, like, what is happening?
Yeah, it was. I haven't seen a movie since before COVID. Probably a couple years before.
Yeah,
COVID.
it's been a long time
So
since I've seen a movie in the theaters. But Dune was worth it. Dune is definitely a movie to go see in theater.
Absolutely. It's especially if you've read the first book, you'll like it.
Yeah.
There's very little that they didn't do to the book.
Mm.
And the things they didn't do through the book make sense because, like we said, it was so dense. The one thing I wanted to happen
Oh, all right. Here we go.
was Paul's sister, little baby. Weird stuff happens with her, just so you know. She is born in the book, and she's like a player in that like last scene.
Oh, so she like comes out like Boss Baby?
Yeah.
Dude, she comes out.
No, but like terrifying. Like everybody's terrified. If you don't,
Yeah, she got the worm poison.
so basically,
So she has all the knowledge.
all right, let's just do the spoiler thing.
Stop listening right now.
So Paul's mother, when they go into the desert, is pregnant, early stages of pregnancy. When she gets to the Fremen village, basically, she needs to take over as their Reverend Mother, which involves drinking a poison, turning it into not poison inside your body, but also gaining the collective life experience of every female who has ever lived
So the
in
baby
your
got that
entire
too.
lineage all the way back. She did that without telling the people that she was pregnant, so the baby got that too.
my
So now this
God.
baby has thousands of years of lived experience, but no individual personality, and just comes out as an infant who can just like talk to you about like at a way higher level than you can talk to it, and it's
Fucking
like
creepy.
it's like a terrifying, unsettling thing.
That would have been fucking
But-
so hilarious if like the baby was
Yeah.
just running around
Yeah.
CGI'd.
But to get that explained is tough.
Yeah. I see why they left
because
it
they
out.
explained so much shit so well, that would have added another 20 minutes to that movie to do that.
I'm bummed they cut the water of life orgies. I'm bummed about that.
Oh
too.
yeah, the orgies.
Yeah.
So in the book, with the water of life thing,
Getting in that sandbox.
once the Reverend Mother changes, it's the sandbox. Yeah. Once the Reverend Mother changes the water away from poison,
That's
it's
sandy
basically super concentrated to spice.
Yeah.
So like very psychedelic spice. And once she changes it, everybody can drink it, and they all drink it, and everybody who lives in that community has an orgy.
I bet they have to get that water thing.
The
Get
what?
that pussy wet. They'd have to get some sort of water contraption. They're so worried about
Do
water.
you think that squirting is frowned upon
Yeah,
in their,
that's what I'm
in their
saying. They're like,
culture?
what the fuck?
You're giving water?
Yeah, dude. That's why, because when she threw up, he
You
was like,
can't
save it. I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder if that comes up during sex.
You can't squirt on Arrakis.
Yeah, dude. What are you doing?
You better lick up this wet spot on the bed.
Yeah. Just you drink the water of life and then you go swim in that pool of all the souls. It's just like, God damn it.
You're not. It's the one thing, guys.
Splashing around.
Yeah.
I liked also too that the Harkins they just kill everybody.
Yeah, they're the bad guys.
Yeah, just any helper. It's a rough stuff being a helper in that. Fucking
Well, that one guy is particularly evil among them.
oh, the nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, the grandfather or the father, Vladimir Harkonnen.
The bathtub?
The Baron, yes.
Yeah, I felt that though. That bathtub was fire. Dude.
Yeah,
I
it
was
would be
like,
pretty cool.
yeah, I was like, that
Bro,
would
just
be,
a warm mud bath at all
Yeah.
times. It would be pretty nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. Some little hairless, creepy bitches creeping around, dude.
They did allude to it. I forgot. They alluded to it in the movie a little bit in this one.
Yeah.
But in the book, that guy's like a full-blown pedophile. Like loves young boys, has them delivered to his chambers, and then murders them.
I liked the fireworks that they had going on. That looked like.
Oh, yeah. So the whole thing with the sun on that planet, it's a black sun. So when people walk outside, it's black and white. If you're in the sunlight, and the way they showed it even where people would be inside and they would have color, and then they would like walk
that
by.
was probably my favorite. part
Walk
of the
by a
movie.
window.
That was
It
crazy.
looked awesome.
Yeah, that was fucking insane. Yeah, that was probably visually the coolest movie I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. It really nails it on every level.
It was a good movie to see in theaters. My dad always tells a story about him and his brother walking down the street, and Alien had just come out. And they went in and saw a matinee and had heard nothing about it. My dad was like, this will be cool. And they went in and saw Alien on the big screen. Like, how fucking dope would that
would
have
blow
been?
your fucking
Dude,
brain.
he said it blew his mind. He said the scene where they show all the eggs, it blew his mind. He couldn't wrap his head around it, seeing it on the big screen.
Yeah, seeing a room that big.
Yeah. Seeing that what is that? Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah.
She was badass in that.
Yeah.
Dude, she fucking kills it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then Aliens, love that one
all
too.
around us, man. Yeah, that's what John Wick should have been.
Dude,
just better gunfighting.
The Aliens, it's such a weird, no other movie has replicated, or no other franchise, where the first one
different.
is an amazing, sci-fi
artful.
horror movie. Actually, beat for beat, it's a haunted house movie.
Yeah, it's real creepy.
The second one, action.
Yeah.
Just straight up action movie, and both of them are great in their own right.
I haven't seen Aliens in a long time.
I've seen it more than Alien, I think.
Really? Yeah, Aliens is slog.
It's a slow burn.
Yeah, real slow burn.
Once you get to
That
the
flipped
end,
me
you're
out.
like, I'm glad that I did that, but the first 45 minutes, you're like, ugh, this is taking
when I was a
while.
kid, when that shit busted out of the dudes, that freaked me out. As a kid,
Yeah.
that haunted me. I was like, what?
Have you heard the story that in the script, it just says, alien emerges, but they didn't tell the actors anything. So the only guy who knew about it was the guy
shit.
who they rigged with the thing. So everybody's reaction, they didn't know what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah, dude. My reaction would be like, what the fuck? I was a kid getting my mind blown. I did not like it. That scared me as a kid, and fucking Gremlins creep me out,
Bro,
dude.
I saw Spaceballs earlier, which was
Spaceballs
have you seen The End? It doesn't hold up. I watched it recently.
Really?
No.
I went and saw it in a theater.
Holds
that
up
had
worse
drinking.
than almost any other Mel Brooks movie I've
That's
seen.
the only movie I've ever smoked weed in the movie. We went to this place that had 40-ounce draft beers. It was like a movie house, and they were showing Spaceballs and forget what else. It was a double feature. But I remember going in, I had a pen. It was back when I had a dry herb Isle Light, and I was like, I wonder if I can hit this in here. And then the dude next to us was just ripping a one-hitter and blowing it down. I was like, I guess there's no rules in this motherfucker. It's lawless.
Guess not.
Yeah, so we just were hitting. That's the only movie I've ever.
Yeah.
And everybody was in there getting wasted. So that's the
course.
last time I rewatched it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if
But-
it holds up or if I.
So at the
Damn.
end, there's an alien scene, which, fun fact, it's the same actor.
Really?
So the guy at the end of Spaceballs, when they're at the diner at the end of the
Yeah, yeah,
universe, which is a fun reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. When they're at the diner at the end of the universe, the guy at the end of the bar where it pops out and then does a dance,
Yeah.
the guy at the end of the bar, he says, "Not again," because it's the same actor.
Okay.
They got
I
the
didn't
same
catch that.
actor
I
who
didn't
from
catch that.
from Alien who it popped out of. It's John Hurt.
Yeah, that little alien doing the dance is what I was picturing.
So when I saw Alien for the first time, I had
Yeah.
already seen that. So my reaction was less terror and more, oh, that's where that's from.
It's like when you see a meme, you finally see the meme that you've seen forever in a movie. You're
Yeah.
like, oh.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, you are the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing. Hey. It's meme inception.
It's great because I was holding the beer.
Yeah, exactly, dude. You're like, what? That's crazy. Which Inception, not as cool as I thought it was.
No, it doesn't.
You go
hold
back
up
and watch
great.
it, and you're like, this.
It's because nobody. I feel
It was
like people
confusing.
have gotten more abstract.
And I think a lot of times people think that confusing is artsy. Like Memento, they're like, "Oh, this is great." You're like, "No, it's not even that great of a story. It's just confusing as hell." Like
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that
I hate
makes
that in
sense.
a movie. I hate when I hate an ending of a
All
movie.
of the Assassin's Creed games.
I've heard that. Fight Club's great until the end. I hate the end of Fight Club.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense at the end.
Yeah.
It's good until the end because it
Game
just
of
doesn't
Thrones
make
did.
sense.
They just shit the bed. You're
Holy
like,
shit, that one!
that hurt.
I was reading the
That hurt my
first
feelings.
book when that ended. I was halfway through the first book, and it ended so badly that I lost all motivation to read.
It's bad. You know what else is bad? Now that we're talking about, I know we're over our time, but
Who gives a
True
shit?
Detective was dog shit.
I
dog shit.
I don't have the hate for it that you did.
Bro, dog shit.
It's
Did you
not
get to
good.
the end?
It's not good.
You get to the end?
Yes.
It's just the ladies? Like,
Yeah.
what? Then what was the point about the, what are we talking about? What
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck
pretty
are we
dumb.
talking? And they're just like, bro, I know that they've talked about this on other podcasts, but I will reiterate it for our fans. A forced cream pie, if the roles were reversed, is wild fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
And they make that guy, the bearded guy, that the lead chick, Navarro, they make him into such a bitch. He's always like in the bathtub laying around. Like, what?
Keegan. I am that guy. That guy.
He's like doing his nails.
Bro, personality wise, I am that guy. I related to that man more than any. I was like, wouldn't it be nice to just have like a tough lady that could take care of me? And then I could just play video games and take baths like that. Buddy,
dude, all I thought though was if I lived up there, I would just live in a bath.
Bro, I'll do a forced cream.
What was the
pie
one-eyed polar bear? They never went into
No,
that.
they never went
They
into
never explained the one-eyed polar bear.
It was
They
like
also
the
didn't
spirit of her
explain
son or whatever.
Like all of a sudden she's like in the fucking SWAT van and you're like, she was just with the other lady.
It's pretty bad.
Jodie Foster, it shows you that you can have an amazing actress, and if you have dog shit writing, it doesn't matter. Like the scene where she's like, ask me again. Ask me the right question.
They had the same conversation like over and over again.
And the fucking dad, it's like he's like on to him for 2 seconds. It's like he like followed him for one scene, and the kid's like, "You're fucking done, dude.
Bro,
no remorse, doesn't care."
The
one lady's like, "You got to puncture their lungs and let the air out." Everybody on Reddit's like, "That is not how that works." A quick Google will tell you.
Yeah. For me, it made me realize the difference between the good and bad seasons. Because season 1 is great. Season 3 is awesome. I think that if season 3 had come out as season 1, it still would have gotten more seasons.
Season 1 was so good.
But season 1 was so good that season 3, like no matter how good it was, it's not the best television season.
The writing was great in season 1. Like the whole thing where he's talking about time is a flat circle. Bottom.
Amazing.
Dude, and they tried to pull that off in the fourth one. I almost threw a beer at the TV. I was like, "This is garbage,
upsetting.
Dude. It's garbage," and it's like statistically
so
impossible.
here's what I realized. It's the formula. They have a formula they established in the first one. They dropped it in the second season. They did it in the third season, and then they dropped it again. The formula is a detective, and you are seeing them deal with the same case multiple times throughout their lives, all mashed together. Where it's like it's the case that the ultimate closure for that detective, basically. And they're chasing it as a young man. They're chasing it as a middle-aged man. They're chasing it as an old man.
Where he goes.
You're seeing it all together.
Yeah.
The 2 seasons that are good are that.
Yeah.
The other 2 seasons is all shit that happened in the last 5 years, and they just kind of throw it together. It's not the same.
Such dog shit. So, and she like pulls the car over and like goes to beat up those guys. You're like, no, in what fucking world?
Here's the thing. I do like that they did accurately represent that she would get caught and the shit kicked out of her.
No, at the end, though, when the dude's dragging her and she gets hit over the head with the thing, and then it cuts to her just beating the fuck out of him, you're like, what happened? No, the fuck you don't. If you got hit with a fire extinguisher, you're done.
Bro, that was a weapon in Manhunt.
Yeah, that's a bludgeoning. He's dragging your dead body out. You know, like,
and you're a cop. You've seen enough of those markings on skulls.
I knew Christina was mad because I was dogging it at the beginning, and then at the end, she was just sitting there going, "What the fuck is happening?"
I went in wanting to like it.
I did too. I wanted to so bad. They never went into the spiral.
Because I like Jodie Foster. They did. They kind of explained.
Kind of.
They didn't explain it enough.
Let's be real. They just wanted to get it off the FBI watch list. We know what it really means. We know what that really means, dude. You're not.
Wait, what does it mean?
It's a pedophile sign. It was the FBI signal for pedophiles. That swirl.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's a big thing with like, it comes up all the time. That's a big like is conspiracy theory thing because that was in the FBI directory. That was the spiral. It means I think like like you like boys. It's like a boy pedophile.
Like,
and then there's another one that signifies
what's
girls.
The organization? There's an organization.
But that was the big thing that the conspiracy theories were up in arms about. Is they were like, this is just a way to clear out with the spiral. You know what I mean?
NAMBLA.
What is that?
You never heard of NAMBLA?
No, what is it? You're gonna piss me off. It's like
gonna-
minor attractive people.
It's gonna piss you
Yeah,
off.
that don't.
It's hold up. It's the I'm gonna try and do it off memory.
don't-
National Association of Man Boy Love.
Oh my god, dude, these fucking people. I think that could be an Olympic sport. You have to go out and fight a UFC fighter. Has it
just make a fat guy from Philadelphia fight.
Yeah, this is like you
fight
have to
John Jones.
Yeah, you have to fight John Jones, some guy that's molesting children. John, like some fighter that has like 5 kids. You just go out there and Khabib just beats your face.
Here's the thing. I love the idea.
Okay.
But it's way more. It would push us closer to idiocracy.
At least we
punishing
could have that.
punishing criminals on TV.
I cannot believe that hasn't happened. Like on an island and stream it online. I cannot believe.
Well,
they've
been doing
happened.
other stuff with the islands.
Have you ever gone down that rabbit hole where they talk about the
Come
fucking
on,
elites?
you're not going to acknowledge
I
that.
did. I saw it. They had their hands full on those islands.
They're busy on the islands
Yeah.
already,
Like, we bought an island.
hanging out with Nambla.
God damn it, dude. No, man, I can't believe that hasn't happened, though. I'm surprised that
I mean,
happened.
it would push us so close to idiocracy that I might kill myself.
I wanted to during that King Kong trailer. I was like, dude, if I didn't have kids on the way, I might have hung myself right there. I was just like, dude, like I said, we've strolled far from Godfather. I don't think we're getting anything like that again. Dune 2 was as close as we're getting.
Honestly, Dune 2 or The Godfather. I need to see Dune 2 again.
I was about to say, I got to see it again. I mean, The Godfather just at the time was so classic, but it is slow.
It's still great.
When you show a girl Godfather, that's when you realize how slow that movie is. When
How
you
much
see a
time
girl
she has
just
to
watching
talk.
It, she's like, "Oh fuck, are we watching?"
Well, it's like baseball, you know?
It's like nothing is worse than showing a girl a Quentin Tarantino movie and they
Oh
hate
my
it.
God.
They hate it, and you realize that you're that douchebag that's showing a true romance or like fucking Reservoir Dogs. Damn it! I know.
Look, bitch, I can't fix your taste.
Yeah, I dated a black girl and we watched Hateful Eight. I was like, yikes!
Ooh, that was a tough one.
Turned it off.
You made a big mistake.
I was like, yeah, we might as well be watching the Django. This is crazy.
What's the most friendly Tarantino movie to watch with a black girl?
Probably Jackie Brown.
Yeah, probably Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown rules.
Yeah.
That's one nobody talks about.
I saw it for the first time
Nobody talks
probably a year ago.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
great.
good.
Great. Nobody talks about that one. Pulp Fiction, probably, maybe.
Maybe.
This Quentin Tarantino says the M word unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Like
that's
so
a tough scene.
unnecessarily. And then I like those
Bro, as soon as he's like, good some gourmet shit, you're like, oh no, I remember what's next.
yeah.
You're like, hold up, let's stop it right here. I think you've seen enough to get what the movie is, you know?
Jesus. The movie that I have shown people the most that bombs, that people do not like it, is when you show a girl Big Lebowski. Some girls do not get it.
I haven't.
They're just like, what the fuck are we watching?
Have you ever seen Snatch?
Yeah, dude.
That movie is...
Dude, there's a point in your life as a man, like when you're 14 or 15, that becomes your identity, dude.
My dad sat me down to watch that movie.
Rules.
When
It
I
is
was
the coolest. Brad Pitt is the coolest in that movie.
Bro, back when Jason Statham used to act and not just swing wrenches at people.
God, dude, that movie is so good. The Pig Farmer.
Yeah. Well, he's not a pig farmer.
I know.
He's the crime boss who
Yeah.
happens to own some pig farms.
The guys that go to rob the bookie, that's hilarious, with the dog
Yeah.
and the squeaky. But that scene where he knocks that dude out and they show the knockout, like the water, that's beautiful. When he hits the mat and it's like going through the water.
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome.
I mean, I think that might be the best guy movie.
That's up there. You're
I
right.
feel like women definitely don't get that movie.
But they can get into ripped Brad Pitt with his shirt off.
yeah, but that comes so late, and
know,
he's already thrown up on himself so many
I
times
think
in that
another
movie.
guy movie that girls hate is The Departed. That's
yeah.
another one, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? It's just them doing fuck in a Boston accent. That's what Jen Snyder said. Jen Snyder was like, it's just them screaming fuck. She's like, the entire movie. Jack Nicholson's too good in that movie, though.
Oh yeah.
When he hits him with the blow.
Did you ever
I want
see?
you to roll around until you're numb, bitch. You're like, he definitely did that. Can you imagine the parties that Jack Nicholson had in his heyday? the debauchery that must have been going
Oh,
on
yeah.
at some penthouse.
He saw all
in
of the
Aspen.
best years of the partying.
Ooh, and he was up in Aspen
And
back
now,
then.
yeah, and now the whole empire is
cameras.
collapsing. So, like, he saw the best years of partying.
Truly.
He's going to die before the collapse
He got to
hits.
hang out with Hunter S. Thompson. Yeah. You got to really do it. That was when you really could party. People just dying.
Yeah.
I
You're
mean,
not really partying if there's not a chance you're going to die.
Dude, after doing the Joker, could you imagine the partying after the original Batman movie?
Also, he was the best Joker.
He was the funniest Joker.
Dude, I watched that back probably a year and a half ago.
He was the best representation of the comic book Joker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was
Yeah.
because that was what the comic book
really
was.
crushed it. He really, and I saw that when I was a kid before I could respect actors. You know, because
Yeah.
respecting actors isn't a naturally impressive thing. It's something that you have to gaslight your adult mind into
Right.
believing that you should do. You know what I mean? Like, respect for actors doesn't come naturally.
No. You have to always be
When you're-
psyoped into it.
Yeah. You have to gaslight yourself. You have to change the way that your brain thinks to appreciate them.
Yeah.
And if you want to respect their opinions, that's a whole nother level.
That old Timothy Chalamet, he killed it on Dune.
I think I said it when we were leaving the theater. My problem with Timothée Chalamet is that there's a point, and I don't know where exactly the line is, but there's a point of intensity where he can't go more intense without just screaming as loud as he can.
Yeah.
And I think that the movie required enough points where that would have been useful, but then it's just him just screaming as loud as he can.
Yeah.
But no, it was
The chick
good.
is good too, Zendaya.
Zendaya
whatever.
was good. Everybody did a good job in
Yeah.
this one, I thought.
The mother was the Reverend Mother killed it because she had a noticeable change in her demeanor and everything. That really came off. You're like, whoa.
Well, she had to, because in one moment, like, not one moment, but in an incredibly short period of time, she gained thousands of years
Yeah.
of.
It was believable.
And here's it. In the book, it's not just like you just know what these people in the past went through. It's like you gain that as lived experience.
Oof. I feel like that might be what DMT is. That's why I always come back and people are like, what did you see? I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. Everything's changing.
Oh, do you want me to
Everything is-
draw a picture?
Yeah, everything's constantly. I think you're just in like a play pace. Like, I swear to God,
Who
that's the
knows?
best. I've never thought about it like that, but I think it's like a kid's area of of whatever that dimension is.
It might be.
They're like, here's the human area. Proceed with caution. They're running around screaming. All right, man. I think we did it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Another episode. Y'all, please go join the
Bro, we did
Patreon.
so long.
Patreon.com/finish the story. It's free to join, so just join for free. We're gonna have some small clips. We'll have some playlists, and we're gonna keep putting up some more content for y'all. So
Hit me with one more, Eagle.